Okay, according to what I'm seeing right here, I am live. But let me remind you, as I do every single stream, that just because I'm live does not mean that I am live. I know what you're thinking. How does that make any sense? It doesn't. YouTube does not make any sense. However, the platform forces me. You've heard the thing. I say it every single day. It forces me to go live before I am ready to go live. It happens every single time. The only way that it allows me, the only way that it allows me to get to this page that I need to be at in order to set up everything correctly, it makes me go live. So then I have that weird little space at the beginning of every single video where I have to give you this whole rundown real quick. So if you are watching this, if you show up in real time, like the people that are going to show up right now, if you're showing up in real time, that this ain't going to be a bother to you because you're going to show up after this. But if you're showing up and watching the replay, which I appreciate very much, that's hardcore right there. People that come after the fact when we ain't even live, not even chopping it up right there in real time anymore, that's heavy right there. I appreciate that. If you're showing up after the fact to watch the replay, you're probably going to hear this because YouTube takes many, many hours of processing before it allows me to cut this section out. So it's going to take a little while, and I apologize for that, but I'm very thankful for you. So I got to save the changes that I made real quick. Let me see, and then I gotta update. Oh, that's what I was trying to do. I gotta copy and paste this thing right here, and then as soon as I do that, I gotta mute the video so I don't have to listen to myself. It's bad enough that you have to listen to myself. I don't want to subject myself to that. So let me change this here. Say public. Wait, why is it acting like that? This is so dumb. You know what? I don't have the time to worry about that right now. I can't worry about that right now. And now we are officially live. This is the part that I'm not going to cut out. This is the part that you will hear later on, whether you are here in real time or not. This is the part that is going to be live and public to all. I can't believe it's making me watch my own ads. I can't even get into the video yet. There we go. I just clapped for myself. And I cannot edit that out. What a surprise! We got Kaimon here. What a big fat surprise. We got Conor. I just called Kaimon Conor. It's the hard C sound. I apologize. I apologize profusely. Kaimon McGregor! Kaimon, I apologize. You don't deserve this. You do not deserve this. You deserve better than this. After all that we've been through, after all that work that you put in, you deserve better, and I apologize. Ramsey Simon! What's up, Ramsey? Simon! Right away, Kaimon's like, who's second? I like that. I like the confidence. ARJR721 says, let's go! Angel Padilla, what's up, man? I think I just broke a record today. I think this is the earliest that I've been since we've been doing this. By the way, welcome to episode 4 of All of a Sudden. Episode 4. Thank you for being here. We are on a journey. There was this dude earlier on Twitter. Luis? Something. He posted something like, what's the most important thing that people need to hear but probably don't know about success? And I told him, sometimes it ain't worth the journey. you got to realize it may not be worth the journey. There's a lot of people out there with a lot of aspirations, a lot of ambitions, and maybe they end up getting what they want. But maybe they burned a lot of bridges on the way, broke a lot of hearts on the way, ruined a lot of relationships, got into a lot of debt. Sometimes the journey ain't worth it. But I thank you for going with me on that journey. I appreciate you being here. Kane Cash, what is up? Thank you for choosing to check in this evening. I know there's a lot of other stuff you could be doing right now. What's up? TMS Poncho, Jane Caulfield, Christopher Keefe, Janine Raw. We just showed up too. We all got here at the same time. You haven't missed anything yet. First time seeing live. I always watch the day after because I work at 3 a.m. Oh, snap. I'm glad that you were able to make it. You might have to dip out real soon. I know I'm already pretty close to the time that I usually start. I was able to start a little earlier today. I want to do even better for you. I want to do even better. I tell you the same thing that I tell Marilena. Every single day, I have the best intentions. What about my intentions? Don't my intentions count for anything? I know that you don't see them. I know that they're not manifested in any sort of tangible way whatsoever. I know there's no actual change. There's no actual progress. There's no actual steps forward. But don't my intentions count for anything? So again, I intend to start even earlier tomorrow. I'd like to go live at like 4 PST, 4:30, 5 latest. But we're doing better. We're doing better. Little by little, minutes at a time. Wizard, yes. I'm gonna get into my topic very soon here. This video is regarding the sensual assault allegations. And at this point, I don't know. I don't know if we are now forced to call them something more than allegations. Welcome everyone to today's meeting. The secret meeting of MMA truthers. Please check in. Pass the clipboard around. Our version of doing that is clicking the like button. I'm going to tell you something. You guys have been very, very supportive, very active. You are active champions. Now, most people don't want to sit around and watch 1, 2, 3 hour videos. And I know most of the people in here can't do that. That's not realistic. You have to dip in and out. I get it. Sometimes I wish I could dip in and out. And it's my stream. And if I could figure out how to do that at some point, I will. But I know we don't have the highest views right now because this is a different kind of thing that we're doing. This is for the few and the proud. But the like to view ratio is pretty impressive. Now, I know the views aren't that high, but the like to view ratio is pretty impressive. So you homies are putting in that work. And it is not going unnoticed. Assault Bay. Hooker Boots says, thank you, whoever gifted me a membership. You know what? So many people have been so ridiculously generous the last few streams. So many people have been gifting. So many people. And I'm afraid to say the wrong name. But you are welcome, and thank you again to the person that did that. There's been so many people gifting memberships in here. Yeah, I felt a little bit proud of myself. I was frustrated, but then I decided to go ahead and feel a little bit proud of myself because I am earlier today than usual. What's up, Illuminati Killer? Ron Loke? Max Duran? Lord Racer? Hello. Marloca! Something clever. The assault Papi. Yes, Conor McGregor is now going by the term of endearment, the assault Papi. Assault Papi. Salt Papi is contemplating. There was an article. He's contemplating a civil suit. Unfortunately, Salt Papi never trademarked his name. And Assault Papi was totally up for grabs. It's a reach. Salt Papi is reaching, really. Assault Papi was totally up for grabs. Conor right here looking like the blue dude from... Warning. Oh, I get it. Okay. So I'll just say, hey, what's up? Warning backwards. That's probably even, what's easier? Good and raw? Warning backwards. It's about the same syllables. What's up, Hoser the guy? Pimware back in the house. Lopez Minton. I saw Papi has me cracked up. I'm telling you, bro. I read the news earlier today and I was like, I mean, I can't take any kind of credit. It's like Bob Dylan said. He says, if I didn't write these songs, somebody else would. He said, these songs are just out there. They're just floating around for us to grab, for us to be a vessel. If I wouldn't have wrote this song, Donovan would have wrote it. Didn't think I was going to make it. Tinnitus, and vertigo acting up. Bro, I'm sorry to hear that. That vertigo is no joke. I don't know anything about tinnitus, so I don't want to downplay that either, but I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you're feeling... I mean, I'm sure you've probably been dealing with it for a while. It's not like I could just make it go away for you, but I hope you start to feel better. Most people on the West Coast are sitting in traffic at 5 o'clock. See, that's my dilemma right there, because I'd like to stream earlier, but then a lot of people are in traffic. They're at work, so I got to stream later. But then that's when my family's like, hey, bro, where you at? It's a hard life, isn't it? It's such a hard life. Grandmaster, stream every night. I've been streaming every night. This is episode 4 nights in a row. And even before that, I was streaming too. Now we got an official name now. We got some official branding. And that was inspired by you guys. You were telling me, yeah, put podcast on it. Make it a thing. Make it official. You guys were like, why don't you do a podcast? And I was like, isn't that what I've been doing? I stream every night. I talk for like 1 or 2 hours. Is that? I don't know what defines a podcast really. And then I was like, I know. I'll put branding on it and then put like episode numbers. That makes it a podcast, right? I believe. I mean, unless I'm missing something, I don't know. Pillars of the Dojo. That's what I'm saying. It finally caught on. I kept saying Pillars of the Dojo, and Zach of all trades was like, stop saying Pillar of the Dojo. It's not going to catch on. It's never going to catch. It's never going to happen. I said, yes, it will. It finally caught on. That time when you weren't streaming was no bueno. It was no bueno for any of us. I thank you for saying that. It was no bueno for any of us. It was no good for my beanie. It was a stressful time. Broski, big up. They started talking to new shouties. And this is the second day. No drinking. Thank you for being there that night, bro. I still rewatched that stream for the wisdom. It's so good to hear you say this, bro. It's so good to hear. This is similar. It's similar to the other night when that dude showed up that told us like 2-3 weeks ago that his leg was all broken up and he was all messed up laying in the hospital. And I was like, bro, please let us know when you're out. Please give us an update. Let us know when you're doing better. And then I think it was last night. He comes in. He's like, I'm good. I'm out. I'm doing better. I'm walking around. It's like, yes. Like, because we could be there with you in the moment and try our best, to lend an ear, to offer some support, some encouragement, some love. But it's still like, at that moment, we're kind of caught up in it with you. We're like emotionally involved, and it's like, we hope for that closure, at least the real ones in here. So it's not like we're just like, oh, yeah, well, hope you feel better. And then we forget about it. To hear you, to have you come back in here and say that and lay down this kind of update, that's amazing. It's so good to hear that. And you know what? I don't remember who it was. But somebody, I believe, just last night was like, hey, where's Rashaad? How's Rashaad doing? Has anybody heard of him? And I was like, yeah, I saw him the night after we had that initial conversation. He was still active in the chat. He seemed like he was in decent spirits. And now this. That's what's up. I told you, bro, love it don't die. It just goes from girl to girl. You got that love, Rashaad. You got that love within you. And I'm speaking metaphorical. You got that love within you, bro. And you know who you are. You know what you're capable of. You know the way that you love. You know the kind of relationship that you want. You know the kind of a dude that you would be in a relationship. What you have to offer. And it's within your control to do with that what you choose. No one could take that from you. Nobody could be like, Nat, you're done. That's all. You filled up your love container. I dumped it all out. You're done now. Nah, that's still you, bro. And if somebody is not going to be able to hang with that and ride with that and appreciate that and respect that, you still have that. That's like if you got a restaurant, someone's like, I don't like that kind of food, and they go somewhere else. You don't shut the restaurant down, homie. You're going to have plenty of clientele. And I don't mean that in the way for you to go be a cochino. You know, when I say plenty of clientele, I'm just saying you got something to offer. That's so good to hear, bro. Yeah, for real. Darkness at the break of noon, shadows even the silver spoon, the hand blade, the dark balloon, eclipse is a sudden mood, ain't no lazy track. Bro, I'm the biggest fan. I'm the biggest fan. You must leave now, take what you need, you think will last. But whatever you wish to keep, you better grab it fast. You understand you're orphan with his gun. Strike another match, go start anew. My voice is shredded. Ever since I started doing this daily, my voice is shredded. I'm gonna have to start going down that screamo path. Congrats, Rashaad. I'm 11 years sober, and it's a hard but rewarding journey. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. What's up, X-Ray 8492? Love container. Wait. Who's walking around with a love container? Who said that? Who brought that one up? Someone's got a love container? Bro. Am I late? Did you do your Bobby Swole apology? Charlie. Hulk Hogan is a legend. Hulk Hogan is a legend. The only thing I got to say about anything that anybody has to say negative about Hulk Hogan, bro, give me your phone. If you have anything negative to say about Hulk Hogan, if you're a Hulk Hogan hater, if you're a Hulkamania denier, give me your phones right now. Hand them over. Give me your passcode too, because I know you're a cochino. I know you got a code on your phone. And I know what you tell your lady. It's in case I lose it. Remember the last time when we were at Mervin's? Remember when I had to go get those new Levi's at Mervin's? And then I left my phone when I had to go to the bathroom because we just came from the Red Robin. And I left my phone in the bathroom. If anybody wanted to, they could delete my whole Instagram page. They could start texting my mom. They could just go into like all my banking info. I had to put a passcode on it. I know, babe, but then why don't you give me the code? Babe, I'm protecting you. What if my phone's right there? What if I go over there to look at some shirts and my phone's right here, and then some robber, some thief comes up and they're like, hey, give me the passcode, I'm gonna blow your head off. And then they could tell if you're lying. Like if you know the passcode, you're in danger. So they could see it. Like criminals, they have that different because they're opportunists. They know how to read people real good. They're real good with body language and stuff like that. Like Ted Bundy. So if you know the passcode and you're not willing to give it to them, you're in danger. They're gonna see it on your face and you're dead. But if you honestly don't know the password, they're gonna see it in your eyes. They're gonna hear it in your voice, and they're gonna let you go. I don't want to put you in danger by giving you my passcode. It's just like when you don't give somebody the code to a safe or a vault or something like that. I'm doing it for your protection. Oh, snap. Hold up. I got a notification. Hold up. Nah, don't trade. It's my tío Beto. He's sick again. He's sick. I can't even remember what we were talking about. What was my metaphor? How did that start? How did that start? What were we talking about? My grandpa picked up Dylan when he was hitchhiking and was shouted out in one of his songs. I think I'm a bigger fan. Have been listening literally all my life from day one. Do I still have it in here? Oh no, I took it out. That's a crazy story. That's really cool. I could basically quote like any song up until Blonde on Blonde was like, after Blonde on Blonde, I don't even remember what was after that. But everything from Bob Dylan, the first album, through Blonde on Blonde was like, but after that, we started singing like this. Lay, lady, lay. Close my big breast bed. Then I'm like, okay, bro. But back when he was like, "Here come your masters of war. You that build the big guns. You that build all the planes. You that build all the bombs. You that hide behind walls. You that hide behind this. I just want you to know I can see through your mess." Like that era, bro. Ramona, come closer, shit softly, your watery eyes. That era, bro. I was just listening to his albums earlier today. I listened to Free Will and Bob Dylan, and I was listening to Bringing It All Back Home. Bro, I love It's Alright, Ma, I'm Only Bleeding. Bro. I don't even need a chorus in my songs. It's too redundant, too repetitive. I don't need choruses in my songs. Oh, the Hulk thing. Okay, I was talking about Hulk Hogan. This is like an extension of what we were talking about last night. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. And we're talking... Oh, that's right. We were talking about love containers. We're talking about love containers. Okay, look. Wait. Okay. If there's any Hulkamania deniers out there, let's just pretend like the last 10 minutes didn't happen. If there's any people out there hating on Hulk Hogan, I've been seeing people on Twitter talking about Hulk Hogan's love containers. If you have anything negative to say about Hulk Hogan, here's what I want you to do. I want you to hand over your phone. Give me the passcode. Give me your laptop. Give me your desktop. Let me have all your codes. Let me scope your search history. Let me go through all your text messages. Let me see what you're doing in the privacy of your screens. Let me see what kind of stuff that you're doing. Let me see what kind of communications you're having. Let me see what kind of stuff that you're diving into. Are you proud of everything that you do? Are you willing to go? It's just like Dana White tells Jake Paul, I'll do this test if you do that test. Are you willing to go tick for tack for toe with Hulk Hogan? Oh, he did this and he did that. Okay, let's see what you did. Oh, dang, you actually did that? Wow. That would be really crazy and all over the news if you were actually like a famous person. Wow, that's crazy. You're kind of sick, huh? Okay, let's look at another thing Hulk Hogan did. Okay. A lot of people didn't like that. That seems crazy, huh? Let's see what you did next. Bro. And she stayed with you after that? Oh, she doesn't know. Oh, yeah, that's messed up, bro. You should stop doing that. Yeah, but nobody knows because you're not famous. Yeah. Because you didn't reach the same level of success as him, so you're not as scrutinized, and it's not as on the world stage. Yeah, but that's sick, bro. Okay, how about you? You see what I'm saying? Anybody that has anything like that to say about Hulk Hogan has to be willing to do that. You gotta go tick for tack for toe. And if you don't, then shut your mouth, bro. We are family. 'Cause I got all my homies with me. Heido! If you hate Hulk Hogan, you should have hated him the whole time. Not on the day of his death or after death. Clout chasers are wild. I'm full on a David Bowie hater from the start to end. He was gross. Cause I got all my homies with me. How could you be a David Bowie hater? Haven't you heard Life on Mars? No one with the mouse they have. Ready to go. I can't remember the words, but I love the melody. It sounds kind of like a Bee Gees song, huh? I turned David Bowie into the Bee Gees. I get what you're saying. Either be a loyal supporter or a loyal hater. Don't just, it's crazy. People like Michael Jackson die. You know, whoever else falls into that category, and then everyone starts buying the albums. Oh, now you're a fan. But just the opposite, when someone dies and then boom, you're a hater. And you start using someone's death as a platform to soapbox and to white knight. It's crazy. Crazy. Not even giving him the ability, not even giving him the opportunity to provide an explanation for his love containers. It's despicable. Michael Fury just gifted 5 Mexican martial arts memberships. We got more people in the Mexican martial arts family. Reggie O, Lil 8 Up, Christopher Keefe, Oratus Exemplar, and Pimware. Welcome to the family. Some of you, I believe, have already been members in the past. You already know how to go to the membership tab up on the top on my homepage, and you know how to find all that dark web type of content that I've made that is not public to everyone else. You already know how to find that. Bunch of songs and extra kind of posts and behind the scenes videos. If you are new, that's where you can find it. Go scope it out. Somebody is mad because Hulk Hogan said the N-word. Okay, let me address this directly. Objectively, do I like someone saying the N-word? Myself, I don't like that. I don't really think I'm the best person to speak on that though, because I am not someone, and I know this sounds very kindergarten, whatever. I am not someone who champions profanity in general. And strangely enough, I feel like there's some people who wouldn't even necessarily categorize that as profanity. They probably look at it something totally different. But I categorize it as that because to me, it's a no word. So I'm probably not the best person to speak on this because in general, I would say like, yeah, don't say that, but also don't say that, don't say that, don't say that. And people would be like, you're a freak, bro. Do you live in Mayberry with Andy Griffith? That's just how I am, whatever. So do I like knowing that someone said that? No. I also, and again, no judgment. I'm not trying to alienate anybody here. I detest, I despise, I loathe with every bit of my being alcohol. I hate it. I wish I could eliminate it from the earth. I hate it. And it's not just a weird, like, religious type of thing that some of you are probably assuming. That aside, I have firsthand just, let's say I never even heard any kind of, faith or rules or expectations or whatever. I've just firsthand seen what it does to people. Friends, relatives, coworkers, classmates back in the day. I would observe that and it was like, oh, this seems dumb. And I can say, truthfully, I've never, ever seen anything good come from it. But I've seen a lot of death come from it, both literal and metaphorical. Relationships just destroyed, just decimated. People never getting back to a certain place because something dumb happened, something dumb was said, I've never seen anything positive. So I didn't mean to go into a tangent for that. Hulk Hogan would drink alcohol. He even had a brand that came out. I don't know how long ago. I saw an ad of him promoting some kind of alcohol that I think was like his. You know how everyone has their own alcohol now? I saw that and I was bummed out. Okay. He probably did another thing and another thing and another thing that I myself wouldn't do or didn't necessarily condone or like either. But you know what? Every single one of you in the chat does things that I don't love. Every single one of you in the chat does things where I would go, that's weird. But who am I? Who am I to play God in your life? I do things that every single one of you wouldn't be on board with. I do things that you would say, that's not for me. Well, I kind of wish you wouldn't do that. There's some of you that think I'm a weirdo and want to unsubscribe when I talk about God. There's some of you that think I'm a weirdo when I actually question something and I expose how the moon landing was fake and you want to run away from the channel. There's some of you that think I'm foolish and don't want to listen to a word I have to say when I tell you that I don't quite believe that the earth was a million, gajillion, bajillion, a million years old. But you still hang in there with me. That's the nature of people. That's how you get along with people. It could be husband and wife. It could be brother and sister, mother and daughter, husband, father and son. Nobody gets along or agrees with what anybody else does 100%. If you do, you're making those people your God. These people shouldn't be where you get your worth from, where you get your value from, where if they do or say something that you don't like, your whole existence just falls apart. That's why you have a God. Something that is flawless, something that is perfect, something that is authoritative and unchanging throughout all of time. If you put too much faith in a person, they will always let you down. You know how many times Michelle Watterson let me down? And she's just on the beanie because I saw her talking in an article just yesterday about how she's thinking about coming back to fighting and how she still has it. She's still competitive and she still wants to do it. And I'm like, I can't have you break my heart again. So you can't look at somebody like Hulk Hogan who has said the N-word in his life and be like, oh, done. And you know what I thought was very humorous? I was watching that Joe Swole's, one of his videos that someone else posted. I don't know, it just got reposted like crazy. I was watching one of them and someone in the comments said, oh, so basically, Joey Swole, so basically, how did he say it? It was so good. He said, so you're asking for forgiveness of these people who won't forgive Hogan, or like you're asking for forgiveness for these people while you're not forgiving Hogan, or it was something that it was worded so neatly and perfectly that it was like it exposed the hypocrisy of it. And that's exactly what it was. And it's all picky and choosy. It's all political. And I'm not going to put them on blast. It's not like anyone's going to see it anyway. But there are actors today that I like. There are actors today who have made... I mean, the 90s was the era. Like, the 90s was like the era. And the early 2000s was like the era of the gay jokes, right? You couldn't watch like a comedy without gay jokes. I think that's why there are no comedies anymore. Because they're 90% gay jokes. And you can't make movies like that now. There are so many successful actors right now that are still thriving that made gay jokes like crazy. Like they had a factory at home. Like crazy. Yet because they're doing the right thing, that they're being good little boys and doing what they're supposed to do right now, they're not getting canceled. And I could name them right now, and you probably could too. But I'm not gonna put anyone on blast because some of them I like their work. But it doesn't matter. Like I said, no one's gonna watch it. But there are actors who are thriving today, making movies. Some of them have like real big Netflix deals, you know? And they made the most gay jokes ever. They made more than you and all your friends did in high school. You know who you are. Don't lie. We're not gonna look through your phones. It's okay. And they said stuff against, they would have dudes in their movies. I mean, I've seen in the last year or two movies that I was like, bro, I forgot about that. Movies that were from like 2005, 2009. And they were like full on men. And the butt of the joke was they were dressing like a lady. And that was the butt of the joke. They weren't saying it was beautiful. They weren't promoting it. They were making fun of it. They did that kind of stuff in a lot of movies. The Three Stooges used to do it back in the day. Curly would dress up like a lady and sing. And these dudes aren't getting canceled because now they're doing what they're supposed to do. But when you have dudes today that aren't doing what they're supposed to do and they're going against the grain, how does everybody find their old tweets? How come those ones are so findable and accessible? How come everyone's finding their old emails and their text messages? How come their old conversations are coming up? How interesting. That's crazy. All the people who are doing what they're supposed to today, they must not have had Twitter pages back in the day. They must have still been on MySpace. They must have been on Zanga.com. Because nobody's finding those. Now, if they ever decide to go against the grain, if they ever decide to speak up and say, you know what, I'm turning my keys in, it might change. They might do them like Michael Jackson. They might do them like Tupac. They might do them like that black dude that just figured out a way to make gasoline out of plastics, and now he's missing. Did we forget about Chuck and Larry? Chuck and Larry, are you kidding me? Chuck and Larry. I can't even imagine how much money went into making Happy Gilmore Part 2. Have you seen Chuck and Larry? How is everybody not? I'm going to shut up because I love Adam Sandler. But I'm saying, the only reason I share this with you is because when there is Hulk Hogan hatred, we got to be objective. We got to be fair. How come this but not that? How come not that but how come this? There's no consistency. I want to say thank you very much to ARJR721 for joining the YouTube membership with full access to everything. He's got a VPN. He's switching up his IP. He's in that dark web of the Mexican martial arts right now. Tarinto, let's follow your logic, Grandmaster. If alcohol is all bad, how come Jesus made some wine with some boring water they had? Alcohol can clean wounds. Yes, and there is... How many is that? Okay. I'm going to catch up with that right now. I thought I was going to be singing over a bunch of my tracks right now. Yes. And I'm not going to be one of those dudes that just brings up the blanket, black and white, easy copy-paste excuse that alcohol is not the same as it was back then. It's a whole different thing, even though that's completely true. And it would be insane for somebody to deny that. You would not be around in biblical times. You would not be walking around in the times of Christ and find some Mike's Hard Lemonade. You would not be walking around in the time of Christ and find some Jack Daniels or whatever. I don't know. And yes, and not only even in those parables, but in other places. Like Paul speaking with Timothy. They had specific purposes, as they do today. Because you'll still find them in medicine today. And even back then, because of ways that they would purify their very dirty water, so that it was, I remember back in the day, my tío Beto, when the year 2000, the Y2K thing was happening, he got a bunch of like 5-gallon jugs and he was putting chlorine in all of them because he was like, bro, these have to last us like the next 15 years. We're going to be like the cave people again. Back in the day, they were doing something similar. Again, I'm not a historian. I'm not going to have the best wording for it right now, but something along those lines they would do with the alcohol. That's how they would purify it. They would use it for wounds. They would use it for the stomachs or whatever, like in the case of Timothy. They would use it so that they wouldn't have the contaminants in the water that was just stagnant and stuff like that. And in a way, there are some literal things. There are some illustration type things, like in regard to purity, in regard to him even being able to have the capacity to make that kind of a change. Something that would have been like otherworldly at the time. It's not like he had a whole facility or a factory to do all the distillation or whatever. I don't even know the right words. But yes, the short answer is yes, that is true. I agree with that. But that is not the way that people use alcohol today. They use it to party. They use it to, and it's a very fine line. Because if we're going to go with anything that the scriptures say, we can't do what they call proof texting. And a lot of pastors do this. A lot of churches do that. And that's how we end up with a bunch of funky religions that proof text. What that means is they pick and choose what they like. They grab a certain verse and make their whole doctrine up based on that. Or on different ones. And they're not utilizing what's called the whole, what is it? I'm not going to use the correct term right now, but something like the fullness of scripture. So you're either proof texting or saying, I like what this says, so I'm going to build onto that. Which is also called man, my brain is off today. There's different terms. I think they're Greek or something, where you're either reading something into scripture or you're pulling something out of it. And that's one of those cases in which you're reading something into it. You're finding one, and I'm not saying that you're doing this, but this is what people do. They'll find one scripture, one verse, and be like, that fits what I'm trying to get across, and then they'll build onto that. I've said the words on here before, but it's fleeting my mind right now. But if you take into consideration the fullness of scripture, it tells you at the exact same time the perception of drunkenness and how that is viewed in the eyes of God, which is considered, if you care about that at all, considered a wicked thing. So I know a lot of people of a certain branch of religion, especially, which I've been hard on them enough lately. I won't say it right now. But I think anybody could identify it. They like to drink. and you can't proof text one verse and be like, hey, he did this, he turned it into wine, and now you're drunk. And it's like, there is no confusion in the scriptures about how drunkenness is viewed whatsoever. So then it becomes a matter of abuse and yeah. But I know that's not what we're here to talk about right now. Mr. Allen M. Mr. Al and M. I haven't even seen you in here before, and I apologize. This seems like a new name to me, Mr. Al and M. Preach, bro. Love your mindset, Grandmaster. Keep God first. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. And I say it all the time. And I try to be careful with how I say it. Because I know, I am fully aware that not everyone in here feels the same as I do about certain things. I get that. And I don't want to alienate any of you. Because the H3 podcast, I'm like a magnet to, I think, Ethan Klein is brilliant. I think he's a genius. I think he's one of the most hilarious dudes ever. And it makes me sad that over the years, I feel like he hasn't really been exercising that muscle. Back in the old days of like H3 Productions, like 10 years ago now or something, funniest stuff I feel like I'd ever seen in my life on YouTube. And now in a lot of his podcasts, he says things that totally just 1,000,000% go against everything I believe in and stand for. And a lot of times when I'm watching this podcast, it's like he's just attacking me directly. And it's not fun. Cause like, bro, I'm trying to enjoy you, bro. You're like, I can't hang with this. Can you talk about something next, different next episode? So I get that. I don't want to alienate anybody, but at the same time, I got to be careful that I understand who I'm serving ultimately from that. Now, I'm not going to make that be all that this is. I'm not trying to put all of a sudden on the TBN network or anything like that. Mostly because their theology is horrendous, but that's aside the point. Thank you, Mr. Allen. I really appreciate that. Thank you. For real. That's very generous of you, Mr. Allen. Big Mama's house. Wait, what's Big Mama's house? Are you talking about Connor's lady? Is that what you're talking about, Heido? Michael Fury, one more month, and I got 5 yesterday in this awesome dojo. Thanks, GM. Thanks, dojo fam. One more month. I didn't know how much I was on here. One more month, and I got 5 yesterday. Wait, what do you mean 5 yesterday? One more month, and I got 5 yesterday in this awesome dojo. I got 5. Oh, 5 new members, right? We're growing that family. Okay. Exegesis. Bro. Eisegesis and exegesis. Bro, are you a theologian or what? How'd you know that? How did you know that? Okay, so when you're reading the scriptures, Wait, where did my Bibles go? What the? What? Someone stole my Bibles. I got more. I don't have them all right here. I keep some of my Bibles right here. I got the Johnny Mac study right here. I got the NASB right here. I got the CSB right here. And I got the Legacy Standard right here. First edition. This is, bro, I like how they smell. But exegesis and eisegesis. Exegesis is when you're extracting. You find something and you're extracting. You're taking out of what the author intended. What they meant, the context, where they were, who they were speaking to, what was going on, the time, everything. You're taking out of it. Eisegesis is when you're like, have you ever been to like a Bible study? And you're like in a circle with people and they're like, okay, how did you feel about that verse? And they're like, here's what it means to me. Let me put all my baggage in here. Okay, what does it mean to you? Here's what it means to me. When I was a kid, and that's why, and then the next person, what does it mean to you? And then there's 18 people in the circle, and all of a sudden this one verse means 18 different things. And that's why we look like foolishness to the world. We're playing the game of telephone. Nobody cares about what this says. They're saying, here's how I feel. And I'm gonna insert that and I'm gonna use this one verse right here. And that's why we look ridiculous to the world. Because of that and because of Joel Osteen. And there's nothing wrong with calling out people by name. The Apostle Paul set the precedent for that. I know a lot of people talk about how it creates division and how it's unloving, but the most unloving thing that you could do is not tell people the truth. And you already know I got to push for that melancholy martial arts. You already know I got to bring that up because of my brain and whatnot. I can't stand for that. And I won't sit for it either. Does GM have the Book of Enoch? I'm gonna be honest with you. I've felt a little weird about having it in my house. And I know that sounds weird. Because this stuff fascinates me. What do they call them? The Vedas, the Quran, the Enoch, even the what are those? What are they called? The Deuterocanonical, like all the extra books, like in the Catholic Bible. Like I'm not somebody that just wants to live in a bubble and only be aware of what I believe. You know, I'm fascinated by all these different things, and I want to make sure that I'm not speaking to anyone from a place of ignorance when I'm doing that. If somebody references something from the book that they believe in, I want to be like, oh yeah, I know, I read that, I've studied this. Not just like, oh, nope, never heard of it, but I don't believe it. How come? I don't know, never heard of it. That's not being honest, you know? I can't tell someone that this is the best restaurant if I didn't even try the other 10, you know? But I've done quite a bit of studying on the Book of Enoch, and look, I'm fully aware that there are some organizations out there in the world, some would consider them religious, most do, that really have their thumb down on a lot of information. And there have been times when I've wondered if I know it's kind of a staple in the faith to just accept it and take it at face value that the scriptures are what they are and untouched and so on and so on. But there are bad actors in the world, and there are vaults. And there are things that people aren't allowing us to have access to. And I have wondered about the Book of Enoch. Especially because, and what I'm talking about is I have wondered if at any place in time that was meant to be canonical. Especially after it was found with the other books in the, what was it called? The caves of Qumran or something like that. What's the term that they call it when they found those the Dead Sea Scrolls? One of them was the Book of Enoch. And the fact that there are some in the scriptures today that were not considered canonical earlier in time. I believe one of my favorite books, if not my favorite, Ecclesiastes is one of them. I believe the Book of James was another. Possibly Revelation, Job, I believe. There was a few that were not considered canonical for the longest time, and it looks like Enoch may have been. And you got to wonder, did certain organizations and institutions want that out for a reason? Because when I read, when I see stuff online and I search and dig into the Book of Enoch, man, I don't know if I don't want to regret saying anything because I don't want to lead anybody astray. Okay, I feel safe saying this because there are a lot of things in the Book of Enoch that make sense and that complement things that are elsewhere in the scriptures. But there are things in the book of Enoch that do not complement other things in the scriptures, which I think is a deal breaker. Because I know a lot of people, they think they have these mic drop moments and they like to talk about different parts of the Bible, especially in the Gospels that contradict each other. That's a big fat because they had different authors that had different purposes in writing them. And I've given the example before, and forget the Bible, forget faith, forget God. Imagine you were a police investigator and you were interrogating suspects. If they all had the same stories, word for word, pause by pause, breath by breath, they would seem so unbelievably fake and rehearsed, and you would not believe that. There has to be a little bit of humanness in there. There has to be a little bit of, well, why did you say that? Why? And then you piece it together. People act differently. They see things differently. They experience things differently. They communicate things differently. So the discrepancies that they find in the Gospels only validate them further. Otherwise, it would seem like, bro, these dudes got together and they really worked on their story. And not only that, again, it's not only that. It's you absolutely have to exercise exegesis and understand who wrote them, why did they write them, who were they writing them to, where were they when they wrote it. There's a lot that has to be considered. And it's funny because we do this for every other thing in history. We do this for other icons throughout history, other great happenings and wars and this and that, but they don't do it. They don't respect that process when it comes to the scriptures. They just want to write it off. They'll do it for everything else. What was the meaning of this? When was it? Who was the audience? What was behind this? What was the literary style of writing? And so when it's the Bible, seems like there's a pattern here, a pattern of dismissiveness and writing offness. Interesting. But anyway, Big Mama's house. Jairo Klein became the wife in his relationship. Yeah. They both, like, Hila seemed like the sweetest, most soft-spoken, when she started Teddy Fresh, she was like, she would shoot him these looks and he couldn't be funny anymore. And she's like, if you say something that ruins my business, my livelihood, she put him on Klein became the wife in his relationship, and you were mentioning guys that dressed up in films. Yeah, He definitely changed, and Hila changed, or maybe just revealed what was what all along. But if you watch the early videos and you watch now, it's like reptilians replaced them. And it breaks my heart it was the same thing when I would watch Bobby Lee and like Kalila would like ruin him. And I'm like, bro, I remember there was times when Bobby Lee would start talking about God and he was like searching for something and she would shut it down. She would it was like John Lennon when Yoko Ono would shut him down. John Lennon was trying to find Christ for a long time. And you would see it in some of his writings. He was writing about it. He was talking about it in interviews. He was writing songs about it. And she would shut it down with all her witchcraft. And she would make him feel small and stupid about it. And Kalila would do the same thing to Bobby Lee. And not even about that again. Faith aside, she was just always just like another mom to him. It's not healthy. It's like because of the society that we live in right now, because of everyone talking about toxic masculinity and how males are so blah, 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 there's a huge overcorrection. And then, I'm not going to be a softie that's going to be promoting a term like this, because then I'm just on the other side of it. But then you end up with female. You end up with toxic female femininity. You end up with toxic femininity because of the overcorrection. Now you got all the dudes walking on eggshells. It's like, hey, I thought you wanted it to be even. I guess you guys lied. You didn't want to be equals. You didn't want it to be even. You wanted to dominate us. You wanted to be overbearing. You wanted us to cower. You wanted us to become your servants because of all the years and years and years of oppression that you lived through. Now we're paying the price, right? We're paying the price because my great-grandfather was a little bit rough with his lady. I'm paying the price now, right? I never drop kicked you. If I encountered H3 today, because someone just says, I'm not a fan of H3. If I just encountered H3 today, I would not like them. But I feel like H3 is like a friend that I had, that I go way back with. And we got a lot in the bank, And, I rode with him, and then I suddenly started to see him go in another direction. And it's like, I'm still holding on. Like, I know what's there, bro. I know what's deep down in there. And it hurts me when I watch the podcast sometimes. All the people around him, the only one that ever, and if you guys watch the show, you know what I'm talking about. The only one that ever really enables Ethan and lets him do his thing and be him is Zach. And I love those moments when Ethan says something a little bit edgy and he kind of goes off the deep end and Zach is laughing his head off. And I'm like, yes, laugh louder. And everyone, Olivia especially, oh my gosh. And it was like, oh no, Ethan, oh no, dial it back. Oh, and then that other girl, I think her name was Sam, who was horrible for the show, and she was like that too. And I think that's one of the reasons she left. Everyone's always trying to reel him in. Oh no, we're gonna push the button. We gotta go to break. Stop talking like that. The only one that lets him be himself is Zach. That's who he needs in his life. And it's like I'm always just like, bro, let it out, bro. Tarinto, Grandmaster, the Bible is about interpretation. You can't read the author's mind, and it has been translated many times. There's so many branches from it. So that's one of the most dangerous things about the perception of the scriptures, the way that people think that it got translated. Now, if you have a Bible that's like a huge paraphrase, like I start to get, you got to be weary of interpretations like, I still feel kind of sad to say it because I used it so much when I was a lot younger, but like the NIV, that is known as a huge paraphrasing type of Bible. When you come across versions like, what they used to call them, the Word, or there's this new one that just came out a few years ago that was like super trendy in pop culture. I forgot what it was called. It was like real big in like the charismatic circles. But if you have a Bible that was translated from anything other than the original language, yeah, that's scary. Now, when you got stuff like this, especially that was like a labor of love project by the Johnny Mac gang right here, I mean, you better believe that they went straight from the absolute earliest manuscripts. There was no, it was translated from this one, it was translated from the NSV, and that was translated from the NASB, and that was translated from the NIV, and that was translated from the King James. No. If there's any Bibles that actually make that public and promote that, yeah, run away from those. But any Bible worth its leather was translated from the original manuscripts. And if you're saying that the original manuscripts were translated like a game of telephone, then I would honestly like to share some stuff with you. Probably not on here, but like maybe I sound like I got some materials for you. Tell me when you have 3 hours. But there are things that go pretty in depth for people who actually are curious, for people who actually are seeking truth and not just looking for something to debunk. There are plenty of materials and information out there that go into great detail of how the writing down and preservation of these manuscripts went on. There were too many checks and balances. There were too many people involved. I mean, people act like people today are huge conspiracy theorists. Oh, you think everybody's in on it? Oh, you think they didn't do this? Oh, you know how many people? I've heard Joe Rogan say that in the past. He's starting to come around. But I've heard people say, oh, really? Do you know how many people would have to be in on this thing for that to be true? It's the same thing when people make that claim about all the translation of the word of God. That's a conspiracy. And it's because we're so far removed, it's easy to be like, oh yeah, all that time they had to. But when you're there in the moment, these people that cherished and fully believed with every ounce of their being that this was the word of God, you better believe there were checks and balances. There were no rogue entities. There were no loose cannons. There were people heavily monitoring and scrutinizing this. This was not, it wasn't like today. It wasn't like 17 magazine. This was without TV. This was without radio. This was without internet. This was without modern day sports. This is what these people lived and breathed. These people had the scriptures memorized. They would recite them orally. They had these at the tip of their beanies. So there was just too many checks and balances for them to have been mistranslated the way that people claim to today, because it's such an easy, quick, lazy way to just write it off and dismiss it. I hear a lot of people doing that today. Caleb, preach, brother, preach. Never heard this side of you before, but loving it. Yeah, I'd probably have a lot more subscribers if I didn't do this. I do it every once in a while. I had no intention of doing this today, but there we go. Thank you, Caleb Druckenmiller. I think I said your name wrong at first. Caleb Druckenmiller. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you for letting the people know there's at least one person out there that's okay with me saying these things. Thank you, Caleb. It has a biblical name as well. Disco Golf. Not Disco. He's like, hey, bro, I'm a discer. I'm calling you Disco. Disco Golf Hutch. Disc Golf Hutch. The truth is both fixed but expansive. Love to talk it. Was a Lutheran pastor. That's serious right there. That's a tricky one. I mean, I know there's so many different branches of everything now. Even the Lutheran Church is going to have its own branches. Even the Catholic Church has the Catholic. They're going full Protestant now. They even got all these branches now where they don't all necessarily agree with each other. But I've known people in the Lutheran Church who were like basically, and I'm just saying generally, Disco Hutch. I've known people in the Lutheran Church that it was almost like you would think they were Catholic. Like it seems so. I was really, 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 really good friends years ago with the Lutheran pastor. Well, he was an ex-Lutheran pastor. He was an ex-Lutheran pastor as well. How come everyone's leaving the Lutherans? But it almost seems like you would think it was Catholic. But then there's some other ones that are also super, super biblical. But yeah. And I don't even entirely know what you mean, but I agree with this generality. The truth is both fixed but expansive. I agree with that. Thank you, Disco. I don't want to disrespect. Thank you, Disc Golf Hutch. Yeah, I mean, I'm open. I will never. I hope that the way that I talk about these things, I never want it to seem like I'm under the delusion that I know everything. And if it comes across that way, that is nothing but conviction and passion. There's nothing that I'm more passionate about and that I speak about with as much conviction as this. But I'm always, always open to receiving and knowing more and more truth. And that's why I left the charismatic church. Come on, I'm eating chili dogs right now. Life is okay, bro. I love chili dogs, dude. Chili dogs and bacon, the street dogs. Oh, bro, your pattern recognition, you upgraded from electric to full acoustic, if you catch my drift. Wait, what? I've always been, I'm proud of that. Pattern recognition. I feel like a fellow brother, I feel like a fellow acoustic brother can truly appreciate me. Because I feel like sometimes Marilena thinks like I'm an alien from outer space and doesn't get me. But to have a fellow acoustic player, I feel seen. Wilson Mitchell. Wilson Mitchell. Wilson Mitchell came in right now. He's like, this dude always starts at about like 8 o'clock, huh? Wilson Mitchell. We came early. We've been here an hour and 10 minutes. And I still haven't talked about Conor McGregor. I've been waiting for you, Wilson Mitchell. Keep Disco evil. Was Disco evil? Because I love the Bee Gees. I don't want to disrespect. I love the Bee Gees. Keep Disco evil. Wilson Mitchell. For those of you who may be new in here, for those of you who just arrived today for the first time ever, and you believe that this is a theological podcast, Wilson Mitchell is currently the biggest sponsor. He is the sponsor of the Mexican martial arts, of the All of a Sudden podcast. Wilson Mitchell is like the Monster energy drink of the Mexican martial arts. And just as Jane Caulfield referenced earlier, Wilson Mitchell is a pillar. He's a pillar of the MMA community. He's a pillar. We would stumble and fall without his support. One of the foundations that holds up the four corners of the Mexican martial arts. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. Two things could be true at once. We've realized this. Thank you very much, Wilson Mitchell. You are a gentleman and an anthropologist. I was thinking about it the other day. I was searching for the word because it's like you're either like a what's the kind of people that don't like anybody? They're called a misanthrope, a misanthrope, misanthrope. You got the one that's like real negative and is like bad for people, and then you got the anthropologist on the other side that's always like supporting the people, helping the people, lifting them up, supporting them. Wilson Mitchell, the new mythical fighter, Wilson anthropologist Mitchell. Thank you very much. Thank you. And again, always everybody just highlighting him, just blowing him up, just putting his name and thanking him and shouting him out. I love this community. I love this community. It's beautiful to see. And I want to say thank you. And I feel like it was several minutes ago, and I hope you didn't think I forgot about you. I saw something come through on the PayPal right here. And they didn't even want to say anything specific. No extra notes or nothing like that. Just small words here. Let me see right here. It just says the buyer hasn't entered any instructions. And this is from Sean Donahue. And he's just throwing down 20 big ones, slapping down $20 in the PayPal. He says, I don't got no advice. I don't got no critiques. I just want to say here, I just want to keep this thing going. Thank you, Sean Donahue. I appreciate that very much. I'm sorry I kept you waiting. I hope you didn't have to leave. I hope you're still here. Please take a moment to talk amongst yourselves because Marilena's texting me. I apologize. This is a lengthy conversation. ARJR 721 will not be outdone. ARJR 721 will not be outdone. See now, look. So look. I don't want to start a war here. See, the UFC has multiple sponsors. They have Monster, and then they have that really annoying Bitcoin one that they always talk about, right? I can't remember the name. Or some other example that's not as ridiculous. ARJR 721 just dropped $150 in the PayPal. 150 big ones in the PayPal. $150. You know what? I don't know if people are trolling me or what, but every day I feel like a bunch of people ask me for the Cash App and nobody sends it. Are you trolling me? Every day I have people asking me for Cash App, like several people. Is there like a Cash App prank? So look, I don't know how to use Cash App. The other day, I typed it with the $, and then someone said, oh, that's not how it works. You don't have to put the $. You just got to put the name. So I don't know exactly. I hope you know how to use Cash App. But that's my Cash App name. When I look on it, it says $ Mexican martial arts. So on your end, I don't know if you put the $. I don't know if you put the @. I'm not sure. But that's my username. ARJR72. Okay, let me see. Let me see this. This is ridiculous. You guys are spoiling me. Okay, so Wilson Mitchell and ARJR 721 is like Monster Energy drink and DraftKings. Or do you want to be crypto.com? Either way, you know what I'm saying. Unbelievable. Alexander, I just wanted to make sure that you know that I saw you right now. I do not want you to leave the stream without feeling like no one paid attention to you. Alexander Tasic, I want you to feel seen. Because I don't know if you're going to get attention elsewhere tonight. You're going to be scouring YouTube. You're going to leave my stream right now, and you're going to be hoping that MMA Joey or someone else reads your comment and shouts you out. I want to make sure that you feel heard and that you feel seen tonight. Alexander, I see you. I see you and I hear you. And I care for your soul, Alexander. Alexander, I love you. But I probably don't like you. I don't like you, but I love you, Alexander. So please, peace be with you. Peace be with you. I've been working out. Have you seen? Hey, bro, you got a pump, bro. I can't find it. Can you link it? Please, sorry. How do you do that? How do you link a Cash App? Is there a desktop version? How does that work? I did this the other day. Tell me if this works. Yeah, I kind of messed up the other day. Hold up. Let me see. Wait. Does that work? Could you screenshot that? Apparently, that's the code that you could use. If you just want to screenshot that and rewind if you need to, apparently that will take you to where you need to go. I honestly didn't know so many people use Cash App. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, V Despicable Me. I'm sorry. I don't know how to I honestly don't know how else to do that. Unless is there like a shareable? How, let me see. Let me try something right here. What if I text this to if I text this to myself, what comes up? Let me see. Oh, bro, I don't like that. Hey, Juan Barbosa! He just sent $1. It came through. He just sent a big one through the Cash App. That's what's up. Now we know it's working. My Cash App is working. Now we know it's working. So look, let me try this right here. Apparently this works. If anybody wants to use it, if you don't want to use it, I understand. I don't got that kind of money to be sending to randos on the internet either. At least not anymore. Marilena was tripping. But if you want to, if you're rich, if you just won the lottery, there. I figured out how to do it. V Despicable Me. I figured it out. You helped me to figure it out. I learned something new today because of you. I just put the link in the chat right there. So look. Hey, I appreciate that, Angel and Jessica. That's really cool. That's really cool of you. Thank you. Got some social media experts out here. MMA Joey's the best, man. It's getting real bummy in here. That dude makes me laugh. It's getting real bummy in here. But I'm not going to die on that hill. I'm not going to die on that hill. Money in your hand is good, but money on your mind. Oh, Khabib. Bro, I was about to say that sounds like something Khabib would say. And then I saw the emoji. Money in hand. Money in your hand is good, but money on your mind, this is bad. I like that. Despicable Me, I don't even know. I'm just dumb, bro. I think you would have to like screenshot it or something, or go to the camera roll, but it says you got it anyway. Okay, good, because I don't know what I'm doing. So look, I should talk about the main topic for today. Cue ball. Cue ball, we've done it a lot. We actually did it quite a bit in the past. Oh, so it is a quote. Okay. What the heck was I gonna say right now? Somebody said something that I wanted to. Oh, that's all it was. I saw your comment, cue ball, so I just wanted to go ho 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 ho. That might be the best intro to any song ever. Ho 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 ho. That one and Band on the Run by Paul McCartney. The it's so beautiful. Hey, V Despicable Me. First of all, I want to apologize for calling you bro continuously. While at the same time, I know that a lot of people across genders are calling themselves bro these days. So it's not necessarily reserved for masculine speak. But also, again, at the same time, you referred to of yourself of being a boomer. So you're probably not used to being referred to as bro. So I apologize. Could I call you Broanna? I like that. Has anybody ever said that before? I think I just coined that. Broanna. I like that. Is that a thing? Sometimes when I have a new idea, I Google it to see if anyone else used it, and then I get sad. Has anyone ever heard Broanna before? I want to say thank you very much, V Despicable Me. V Despicable Me just sent 45 big ones. You might have sent 50. Actually, I want to make sure I'm quoting this right, because every platform is gonna take a little bit of a cut. That's just how it goes. But it's showing 45 big ones on here, and I want to say thank you very much. And I keep looking back at the chat because I want to make sure I say your correct name. Thank you very much. I almost said your real name. Thank you very much. V Despicable Me, I appreciate you. Thank you. And it says, I thought I saw there was a note here. I gotta look on the email. Forgive me. I'm not trying to make this the PBS telethon right here, but there's no way I'm not gonna shout out the people that are donating right here. I have to at least say. Okay, so V Despicable Me threw down 45 big ones and said, today, for all your encouragement. Now, I don't know what I said that you received as encouraging. I don't know if it was in regard to Hulk Hogan. Maybe you're a Hulk Hogan fan. There's a lot of Hulkamania deniers out there right now because of social media and people feeling peer pressure. And maybe you're a Hulk Hogan fan. Maybe you're somebody who is struggling with the canonicity of the Book of Enoch. Maybe you're somebody, maybe you're into disco golf. Maybe you're someone that's been struggling with your translation of the scriptures. I don't know what it is. But I want to say that you are very, 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 very welcome. Maybe you have a passcode on your cell phone. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Maybe you got a sensual container. No, it doesn't matter. Is that what we were calling it? It was something container. What was it called? I think sensual was the wrong word. I just want to say thank you very much. I almost said your real name again. V Despicable Me. Thank you. This is very generous of you. Thank you very much. I just had a flurry of people donate. I want to say thank you very much to where's your name? I don't know if you want me to say your real name or not. I want to say thank you to Jay Schroeder. Jay Schroeder dropped a big one on me. Jay Schroeder just made sure that my Cash App is working. And he sent me one big one to the Cash App. Thank you, Jay Schroeder. Oh, you got books. I was trying to figure out what your picture is. Or those cassettes. Wu-Tang Clan, Dr. Dre, Outkast. I thought those were books. This dude's reading about Dr. Dre and Outkast. Thank you, Jay Schroeder. We also got The Lord Be With You. Thanks for the stream. From Julio. Just slapped 10 big ones down in the PayPal. Thank you, Julio. Thank you very much. Lord be with you, bro. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I never want anybody to think that that's what I'm seeking. But I gotta say, it's refreshing. Because I've gotten a lot of hate before when I decide to take a little tangent and talk about what I believe in. I've had people tell me, oh, you believe, what they say? Oh, you believe in Sky Daddy unsubbing? And I'm like, okay. That's to be expected. And I don't lose sleep over that. But while I don't lose sleep over that, I do rejoice for the times like this. Thank you, Julio. Thank you very much. It's very refreshing. Bro. Oh my goodness. Let me make sure I'm reading this correctly and that I'm not missing a decimal here. Okay. So, okay. So, Wilson Mitchell, turns out, Wilson Mitchell will not be outdone either. Wilson Mitchell said, Wilson Mitchell is standing his ground. And how is Ariana Grande say? He's holding space for the hold on, my Pandora stopped and I'm freaking out because I need that music pumping through my headphones. The Reverend Al Green, here we go. Wilson Mitchell, who just dropped $100 in the chat earlier, he just cash apped. How do I find this again? I lost it. He just cash apped 100 big ones. And he says, oh, okay, so V Despicable Me. I thought your message said today, and then it said for the encouragement. It just says today on everyone. That's just saying when they sent it, because it says today. It says for Dojo Rant. You know what's interesting? Okay. This is literally going to my rent, to my mortgage. Probably our last one before we had to leave, because I didn't end up getting paid for solar today at the last day of the month. So I literally needed that for rent. So funny that you mentioned that. Yeah. It may be our last one before we bounce. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Wilson Mitchell. Thank you very much. If we had a MMA canvas, which I would like to have someday, that's one of my dreams. That's one of my dreams where at some point down the road, because me and Flaco are going to be doing it again. We're going to be reunited and it will feel so good. Reunited because we understood that was the thing to do, that's the trajectory for us. That's the end of the rainbow right there. And at some point I would like to have like a cage, so that we could do our demonstrations and stuff like that. We're still going to have the mat. We're still going to have the dojo. We're still going to have the canvas and stuff like that, like the old school dojos and the carpet padding and all that like we had in the past. But I'd like to have, I would like to have a canvas. The way some people are acting tonight, we're going to end up having your names and your faces on that canvas. You're going to be the sponsors on these canvases. Unbelievable. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I'm going to get to my topic now 1 hour and 33 minutes in. This is going to be some interesting timestamps. 1 hour and 33 minutes in, I want to talk about what we came here today for. Breaking news, Conor McGregor loses appeal in sensual assault case. Now going by assault Papi. And I was mentioning it earlier that there was some potential litigation from Salt Papi, the dude that's about to square up with Tony Ferguson in a boxing match. However, he had no precedent for such a thing. Because we're talking about assault Papi. Such a thing has never been trademarked. And you could understand why. Now, for Conor McGregor, it's being used a little bit of a term of endearment because he has embraced this. Because his fans continue to say, and I've seen it in the comment sections still today, this very day, the king does what he wants. And if you remember history of the world, it's good to be the king. Mel Brooks. And that is the mantra that Conor McGregor lives by. It's good to be the king. And you see it coming through at the BKFC press conference when he's telling an African man, dance for me, boy. You will dance for me. I am your owner. You see it when he was in boxing and he told Mayweather, dance for me, boy. And people say the king will do what the king wants. He's unfazed. He is unbothered. He has fully embraced his new term of endearment, the assault Papi. Assault Papi. Wait a minute. What am I? Hold up. I keep having I have people that are too generous in this chat. I'm trying to bore you. I'm trying to bore you with today's news. And I got too many people that are too generous. ARJR721 just upped the ante. Are you guys in cahoots? Are you tag team partners? Bro. You guys are all total tonight going to end up giving the exact amount that I needed to pay them the last rent. This is stupid. ARJR721 just dropped an additional $50. An additional $50 in the PayPal. I'm talking about PayPal. I'm talking about this thing I'm going to cash out tonight. 50 big ones in the PayPal. ARJR721 refuses to be outdone. They could match. That's okay. They could be neck and neck. I'm not holding it against anybody. It's a nice, loving, beautiful truce. We're all on the same team here. But each man refuses to be outdone. 50 big ones from ARJR721. Thank you. How? I just want to know how. I want to know how you do it. Because my well is running dry and I need to get on what you're on. I need to get on what you're on. And we got okay, hold on. What's your screen name? Okay, we got Lionel Jans. Lionel Jans just dropped $50. $50. It's like when I drop down for push-ups and we ain't doing. No, I'm not gonna do it like that. I'm just saying these are dudes that are going for hypertrophy. These dudes are in high rep hypertrophy. They're trying to get swollen here. They're trying to get that Mexican martial arts funding all swolled up. We just been diagnosed with scoliosis. The Mexican martial arts account, the dojo account, has just been diagnosed with scoliosis because we got the most generous community. 50 big ones from Lionel Jans. I got people so generous in the chat, I can't even bore you with today's news. They can't be bothered. They cannot be bothered to hear what's going on today. They've heard enough, Conor. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? We just got the homie Julian. The homie Julian just donated $6.66. Now tonight, I implore all of you tonight to pray for the homie's soul. Tonight, Julian, we will all be praying for you tonight, Julian. We will all be praying for you tonight, Julian. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Julian Ortiz. Oh, I don't know if I was supposed to say your last name. You guys didn't hear that. Thank you very much. Dang it. I don't think it matters. Now we just know. You know the prayers. Are they're you would think they have the opportunity to be expedited. They have the opportunity to be expedited when you have last names, you know? So even better, even better, Julian. Thank you very much. Thank you. So today's topic. Oh, wait a minute. I'm missing people in this chat right here. Let me catch up. Let me catch up. Oh, no. I got so far behind it. Okay, hold on. I still got it right here. This one lets me go all the way back. My Streamlabs. Wait, no. I was confused. Okay, I was seeing something different right here. I'm all caught up, right? I don't think I missed anybody. Okay, good. I will feel bad about that. Let me see. I gotta check on something in regard to Marilena real quick. As always, right? As always. Please forgive me during this trying time. Please forgive me during this trying time. I know this is unprofessional. Okay. That's all settled. I should not be disrupted any further. Hold up. I just got a notification. Bro. Okay, where am I at? Wait. I think this is the old one. What time this? No. This is not an old one. I'm gonna have to rename this video. Wait a minute. Let me just go back to my email and make sure this isn't the same. No, that was sent at 8:04. ARJR. ARJR721. I've got some unfortunate news. Hey, what do you guys do for a living? I think they started they live in Silicon Valley and they started some tech company or something. Wilson Mitchell, he says, match that, my man. Wilson Mitchell just slapped another $100 in the Cash App. Wilson Mitchell with the 100 big ones in the Cash App. He's like, forget Monster. He's trying to hit me like Venom. He's trying to hit me like Reebok. Wilson Mitchell, the official sponsor of the Mexican martial arts. Wilson Mitchell is saying quantity over quality. How about quality in massive quantities? How about that? Oh, you didn't know this was merch? I didn't buy this at Old Navy. This is merch. Wilson Mitchell just slapped down $100. Wilson Mitchell just slapped down $100 in the Cash App. So now I could tell Marilena, stop tripping. This is what I was put on this earth to do. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want you to tell me to go to JCPenney and buy some more ties so I could go sell steak knives door to door. This is my calling. Look at these fat stacks and leave me alone. Let me play Fallout. Let me kick up my chanclas and do my thing. Because I worked hard for this. You know how many breakdowns I made? For nothing? And other people are coming through and saying thank you. Stop tripping. And you guys are helping me to do this. You guys are enabling me. Wilson Mitchell. When we have a brick and mortar dojo, Wilson Mitchell's going to have like one of those benches. Like where the parents could sit outside when they're waiting for their kids. He's going to be out because I don't want them in the dojo trying to be like, hey, Bobby, make sure you're doing. No. I'm the sensei in here, all right? They're my kids when they're in here. It's the bench outside where the parents sit. It's going to have one of those placards that has your name on it. Wilson Mitchell. $100, Wilson Mitchell. And then we got Hugo. We got Hugo in the PayPal that says, love you, GM. Love you. And he's like, you know what? I got kind of freaked out with that 666. So he threw down 777. And he's trying to tell me to take this and go to the casino. He's trying to tell me take this lucky number and go to Chuck Chansey. Take this lucky number and take a little drive to Chuck Chansey Casino. Chuck Chansey Gold Resort. Thank you, Hugo. Love you, bro. Love you. Wilson must do card dealing, is my guess. Show this stream to Marilena. Oh, she's going to be hearing about it. She's going to be hearing about it. O2AU GM should play Fallout 76 with the subs or something like that one day. Man, I would love that, bro. I was telling Marilena, because we've been having a lot of conversations about how things are going to be when we leave here. Because one of the whole reasons we're doing it is we're trying to be better. You know, we're trying to scale back a little, show the kids and stuff. It's not all about materialism. It's about time together. It's about experiences. It's about memories. Let's be more present. Let's be more active. And I told her, okay, good. I agree with that. That's what I want. And she was asking me, like, what do you want it to? Because we're trying to figure out, like, what are we doing? What's the point of this? What's it gonna be like once we're there? And she was asking me that, and I was like, and it's because it's been hard. It's been a rough few years. And I told her, you know what I want at first? I want to have some time where if I'm just chilling out and I'm playing Fallout for 5 hours, you're not going to tell me nothing. And you're just going to be like, oh, you're still playing? Okay, cool. I just need you to give me a little window of doing that. Because right now, it's like I gotta do this, and I gotta do that, and then I gotta do these calls, and then I gotta do these posts, and then I gotta do this, and then I gotta do research, and I gotta shoot, and then when I'm done, now I gotta do clips, now I gotta do that, but now I gotta wake up early, so I gotta go to bed, and I'm gonna do it again. And it's like it never, ever, ever. This right here, this is my peace. This is my relaxing time. All day when I was doing other stuff that was mind numbing, the whole time I was thinking, I can't wait to escape who I have to be right now. And be able to go be there in the moment with the homies. It just never ends. And I was like, you know what I want? I want to just be able to sit down. If I want to just sit down and watch Even Stevens for 3 hours, I want to be able to do that. With nobody telling me nothing. Hey, did you forget to do this? Remember you have to do that? We have to take care of this. I just want to watch Even Stevens. That's what I want. And I'm trying to remember why I brought that up. Oh, because you were saying show it to her. Yes. I mean, you guys, the way tonight has been, this would allow me to, what I want to be able to do is wake up and treat it like a full-time job. And I know that's going to get a little bit tricky because streaming hours are primarily more in the evening when people are out of work and stuff. But I don't want to have to divert my interests anymore. I want to be able to get up, put everything I have into this. Donzo. And if we're able to do what we're doing right now, I've never, ever, ever been this consistent. And I've never, ever had a stretch on YouTube where people were being this supportive. Ever. And I blame myself now. I never presented you with the opportunity. I always thought people don't want me to stream. That's lazy content. What am I going to do that for? They have stuff to do. And then I do this, and it's like I finally gave people a platform which they could say, here, let's keep doing this. And I didn't have to sell a single car. What an idiot I was for 2 years. Thank you, Wilson Mitchell. Thank you. Dang it, you go to JCPenney? I barely make it to Ross and Marshall's. You balling for... Hey, because my sister-in-law has a store card, you know? So we kind of just bum it. And then we pay her back, you know? You know I don't got that JCPenney kind of money right now. I got the JCPenney sister-in-law. That's what I got. Hey, Wilson Mitchell, you got a hoodie on the way. Orale, getting ready for the winter. I love it. I love it. Wilson Mitchell, here's what I can tell you. I what I have learned over the last couple of years, doing something that I absolutely hated, and having to live in ways that, because I was very immature. Me and Marilena got together and decided to be together. You know what I mean? Very, very young. And immediately started making the most irresponsible, childish, immature decisions with money. And it got so bad that I was never able to recoup and get out of the hole, no matter how mature I wanted to be in the moment. It was too deep. It didn't matter. I could have. So the combination of what I've learned over the last couple of years about how to be disciplined, how to be a better steward, how not to be irresponsible or crazy with this and that, plus having to make this monumental move of partying with the pad. That was the missing piece, being willing to do that. She wanted to do it for a while now, and I finally had to cave. It's like, hey, we got no other options. But those two things combined, yes, I feel like everything that happened had to happen, and now I'm in a place where it's like, yeah, we don't need to go and do that. We don't need to buy that. You know why? You know how I know? Because we bought stuff before. And look where it got us. We just need to know how to be with each other now, how to be content with what we have here, you know? Hold up. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It's just so matter of fact. The buyer hasn't entered any instructions. It says, okay, ARJR721. And look, let me say something right now. I have no expectations. I don't want to be presumptuous. I don't want to push anything, because I'm starting to feel bad now. Because these wells, I mean, how deep can these wells be? ARJR721 just dropped $200. The PayPal. Oh my gosh. ARJR721 just dropped 200. 200 big ones in the PayPal. I don't even know what to say at this point. There's part of me that feels a little bit guilty. Like, I don't want to bleed anybody dry. You know what I'm saying? But on the other hand, I'm like, bro, if I was able to do that for somebody, bro, how do I get on your level? Oh, V Despicable Me. I'm going to do that after the stream is over. I'm going to do that after the stream. I've done that too much on stream. I legitimately can't. I always do that with my hands. I can't believe what's happening right now. This is insane. It almost has me feeling like they're like these eccentric billionaires that aren't even like, I don't know, like is Dana White watching my stream and he says his name is ARJR721 and he's like, I don't understand. I don't understand this. That's like a whole day's worth of work for a lot of people, for most people, right? And it's untaxed. For now, I'll have to pay the tax later. Bro, I don't even know what to say. Here's what I want. Here's what I'll say. I think this is the strongest way that I could say thank you. And I touched on this a little while ago, and I didn't want to go too in depth. Because I didn't want to be all groveling or anything like that. But I'll tell you this. For those of you all over the spectrum today that gave anything, I'll tell you this. Today is the 31st, and we're having to sell our house. We've had this conversation. I told you this. The ladies literally coming over to take photos on Tuesday. They're going to list it. Hopefully it sells quick. We're doing everything we can to beat a foreclosure. That's why we're selling it in the quick timing we are right now. Because if it forecloses, then we just lose it and we get nothing. At least right now, we've built up some equity. So we were panicking because today's the last day of the month and my solar funds did not come through today. And we were thinking, what in the world are we going to do? And I said, I don't know. But I stream every day now. So I got to go stream. I said, hey, it's episode 4. This is what I do now. I can't make it appear from nothing. But I know that's what I'm doing now. I'm passionate about it. Hopefully there's people waiting on me. They've come to enjoy this. Money didn't come through. Dang it. That's unfortunate. Well, I'm going to go stream now. And she was a little frustrated. I don't know what she expected me to do. But the reason I'm telling you this is because I genuinely feel like I don't have enough words to say thank you. And I want you to know. Hopefully this is the best way I could say thank you. If this craziness hadn't happened tonight, I wouldn't have had any other way to fill in that gap to be able to make sure that we didn't get foreclosed on. And that would have been a disaster. That would have just flipped everything upside down. So I want you guys that have been able to contribute tonight to know you're saving me from that. That is, I mean, for people in here who are like, I think most people who are like adults and know the significance of that, of either selling and having equity or being foreclosed on, that's what you guys are doing for me tonight. It's literally the last day of the month and we were freaking out. So thank you very much. Dude, I just crawled out of that hole about 3 years ago. I could totally relate. It's suffocating, bro. It's suffocating. And that's one of the weird juxtapositions I've been living with for like years on here, where there's this crazy supportive community of people saying the best things and supporting and saying that this is my favorite channel. I love this channel. And I'm like, bro, I can't even pay my water bill. And people are saying, I'm not saying I'm like PewDiePie or anything, but even to have 4 people in the whole universe saying I'm their favorite YouTuber, it's like, bro, I can't even, like, what the heck? This doesn't add up. And it's because the stupid decisions that I made when I was younger. I was in a hole that I couldn't get out of, and it just felt like when is this going to catch up and make sense? So hopefully the moment we sell and it hits the bank, we're just going to have just this sigh of relief, this breath of fresh air, this ability to play Fallout for a few hours without hearing anything about it. Because that's the significant thing. I could play Fallout right now, but I'm going to hear something about it. That's the significant thing. Oh. Okay. Wilson Mitchell. Wilson Mitchell says for the end of the night off with for the end of the night, end the night off with a bang. For ending the night off with a bang. Look, I want to say something right now. ARJR721, Wilson Mitchell. I want to say tonight, this was, you are both victors tonight, okay? I want to award ARJR721 and Wilson Mitchell with the performance of the night. This was truly performance of the night. ARJR721 and Wilson Mitchell. Wilson Mitchell says for ending the night off with a bang. He just dropped. I have a feeling ARJR721 and Wilson Mitchell are in the same room together and they're just laughing their heads off. And they're like, ah! And they're like in on this. They just won, like they count cards or something. Wilson Mitchell just dropped $200 in the Cash App. Another $200 from Wilson Mitchell. Another $200 from Wilson Mitchell. I always want to say Wilson Phillips. Another $200 from Wilson Mitchell. ARJR721 and Wilson Mitchell, performance of the night. Performance of the night. I cannot explain to you what you've all done tonight. I cannot explain it. The crazy contrast of how different tonight would have been when I walk out and have conversation with Marilena. The difference, the crazy difference it would have been from what it's actually going to be to what it could have been. It's insane. Ending the night off with a bang. Thank you, Wilson Mitchell. And we haven't even finished talking about our topic. ARJR721, Wilson Mitchell, performance of the night. Thank you, Wilson Mitchell. 200 big ones. And then we got Juan Barbosa right here. And he says, it's not much, but I hope it helps and clears quickly. Pay your mortgage, homie. Bro. Juan Barbosa slapped down 50 big ones. Juan Barbosa, if I remember correctly, he just on stream yesterday joined the Patreon. He's in here. He's spending his evening with us. He's talking with us, cracking jokes. I mean, what's more precious than time? He's spending his time here. He signed up for the Patreon. He's slapping down 50 in the PayPal. He's humble. He's humble. Always be humble. He's humble about it. $50 is no small thing. I believe anybody in here finds $50 on the street, they're gonna be happy about it. Takes me a while to make $50. Maybe not tonight, but tonight is a little bit of a, what do they call it? A little bit of an outlier. Thank you very much, Juan Barbosa. And we've been through a lot. You know, I mispronounced your name yesterday. That could have been very disrespectful. Kind of like when Cheech and Chong were like, hey, pendejo. That's kind of like what I did to you last night. And I apologize. And now I can see that you have forgiven me. I see that you have forgiven me. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Look, we're going to be civil here. We're going to be civil. We all support each other here. This is not a competition. This is not a competition. Oh my gosh. Let me make sure. Is this wait a minute. Oh my gosh, there's too many coming in at the same time. Alberto. Oh, ARJR 721. He just threw down another $100 on the PayPal. I need you guys to be civil. We are all family in here. Look it. $100. 100 additional dollars from ARJR 721. $30 in the PayPal from Shane Morales. $30 in the PayPal from Shane Morales. Another $100 that I just mentioned from ARJR 721. We got $30 from Shane Morales. I like saying that name. Morales. I used to have a homie with the last name Morales. We got Julio. With an additional 15 in the PayPal that says quantity over quality. Just wanted to share a Motown song I love right now. Skip that part, the Dells. Oh, let me look that up. Skip that part, the Dells. I'm listening to it right now. Oh, I like that sax. Thank you, Julio. You already know that I get down with this kind of music. This is my genre right here. Quantity over quality. Quantity over quality. Just wanted to share a Motown song I love right now. Skip that part from the Dells. Thank you, Julio. I can't even keep up. I'm trying to get through all the names right now. Wilson Mitchell says, for Marilena, he's saying just tell her to chill out. Tell her to chill out. Wilson Mitchell just says for Marilena, $50. 50. You know, it was just her birthday. It was just her birthday this month. It was messed up. It was messed up. Because, you know, we're having to sell the house and everything right now. So obviously we're not going through a good time, and it was her birthday this month. I had to get a little bit creative. We made it through. But now I'm going to catch up. Now I'm going to catch up. See, you didn't even know that you were prophetic right there. You didn't even know that. Oh, I like this. Thank you, Wilson Mitchell. Another 50 from Wilson Mitchell. He's got those cargo pants on. He's got multiple. He's got deep pockets. He's got multiple pockets. I know dudes with deep pockets, and I know dudes with multiple pockets. But Wilson Mitchell got multiple deep pockets. Is this another one? Another $50 from Lionel Jans. 5-0. This dude just slapped some down earlier. The same guy. This doesn't make any sense. Thank you again, Wilson Mitchell. Thank you again. Thank you again, Julio. Thank you again, ARJR721. Thank you again, Juan Barboso, Shane Morales, all these most recent ones again. Thank you. Thank you. This is crazy. You are enabling me. How am I ever going to sit down and take the time to edit a video ever again? I would make like $12 making one of those. It took me 3 weeks to make. I've been streaming for 2 hours. I made more than I ever made on another video. My community is too generous. I'll tell her that you all say happy birthday. She gets mad because I tell her, you're a Cancer. You are a Cancer. She doesn't like it. Thank you, Wilson Mitchell. Yeah, look, it's the tears of a clown, you know? I look forward to this every day. And I've said it before, and I know it's kind of sad. It's kind of pathetic. But I like... I like... I was watching a video earlier, actually, a short that I was scrolling past, and it was random. It was this lady bartender, and she was talking about how drinking leads different personality types to act certain ways. And she's like, if you drink and you start laughing like crazy and you're all happy, that means this. If you get real sleepy and you're tired, that means this. If you get real aggressive and confrontational, it means that. And I feel like when I do this, and I'm trying to word it in a careful way, when I do this, I feel like that gives me the ability to be who I want to be. It gives me I feel enabled. I feel like I have permission to be myself. And when I'm not doing this, it's sad that it's almost recognizable. It tends to be such a tightly wound, paranoid, worried, sick, frustrated, stressed, whole different type of person. And I just look forward to this all day, every day. And the one thing that was always missing was I couldn't justify being able to do it more. And it seemed like I was a little kid that couldn't let go of a hobby. And that's an awful feeling when you're a husband and a father, feeling like I'm not doing right by what was entrusted to me. I'm like a little kid locking himself in his room playing with his toys instead of being responsible. And that was hard for me. And now it seems like maybe like I'm seeing what Wilson Mitchell's saying. So happy for GM tonight. Thanks for everyone for showing love. Excuse me, I'm getting old. Burp involuntarily just came out. I don't like burping on microphone. I don't like that. I definitely don't expect stuff like this every night, but it is crazy. It is crazy how it happened today. And I've been heavily contemplating and not looking too forward to having certain conversations with Marilena, letting her know like, hey, I believe I need to go all in to really make this work. And I think it will work. I think I need to just take the, I gotta take the leap. And now it's probably going to be easier for me to justify that. I want to apologize because I got a little bit behind on the chat. And if somebody donated in the chat and I missed it, I'm starting with Juan Barbosa. I see one back here, and I'm going to read through them. But if there was someone even before that, please let me know. Juan Barbosa says, GM, if I had my way, I would love for this to get so big that you could hire the original crew and bring back the old MMA classes. Juan Barbosa. Juan, hey, Juan, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm sleep deprived. My brain is not firing on all cylinders. I'm so sorry. Juan Barbosa. I want to tell you that has always been my goal. That has been my dream. I have every intention of doing that. I don't want anybody at any point to think that I believe I've outgrown that I've gone past that. I want you to know at any time, always, that is what I'm trying to get back to. For anybody that loves that and misses that, I have every intention of getting back there. And I was actually talking to the homie from the crew, the old crew, the other day, and he was telling me how he was going through some hard times and he had lost some clients. And I've been bugging him and telling him, you gotta come back. I told him, if you come back, we can make the movie. I told him, I need you to make the movie. And he's like, you could come to Texas. And he was telling me, yeah, because I told him I'm going to have to sell the pad. And he's like, hey, I'm probably going to lose my house over here in Texas too if I don't get more clients. And I felt bad because in the back of my beanie, I was like, wait a minute. So if he doesn't get some more clients, then he's going to come back and we're going to make the movie. We're going to be doing the classes again with Flacco and whatnot. And so then I started thinking, what if I call all his clients and start telling them that he's a racist? You know, I'll call all of his clients and be like, did you know that he was a Hulk Hogan fan? Did you know that? Did you know that he has a Hulkamania t-shirt in it? And you know, because that's what. Did you know that he likes the Sydney Sweeney commercial? Did you know that he actually went out and bought some American Eagle after that? And then he loses all his clients. And then he has to come back. We make the movie. It's a picture perfect story. So that is my goal. Juan Barbosa. That's what I want to do. That's what I would love to. Thank you. Jairo, I am Dana Blanco. I remember I said earlier, I feel like someone big is in the chat and they just have these aliases. Jairo, we found him. Jairo is Dana Blanco. Did you pay for a photographer? The people that just take real estate photos are just some dude with a camera 50-year-old could do on an iPhone. I wish I'm wrong. So there's a lady that we're working with. Long story short, there's a lady that we're working with that we kind of had a connection with from the past that we kind of knew. And me and Marilena both had the same idea when we said it. We were like, oh, I was thinking the same thing. So we're using that lady, and right off the bat, she's like, oh, yeah, I hire a dude for all of that. And she actually mentioned that. She's like, you could tell when people just use a cell phone and it's not good. And she's like, I get a professional for everything. So we're going to be all good right there. But yeah, she's being really good about that. Michael Bibo. Balbiv Bibo. What's up? Thank you. Incredible, Bibo. Mr. Bibo, thank you for being here. Thank you. And then we have Billy the Kidder with 5 gifted Mexican martial arts memberships going to Tomas Perez. Reload. Username 123. Rick 0 and Blades and EDC. Congratulations. You have now gained entry to the Mexican martial arts dark web. If you go to my homepage and go to the membership tab, you can see all the stuff in there hidden. Normally people have to get VPNs. They have to figure out all these illegal. You have to go into dark mode. There's, what's it called? Incognito. I don't even think that works. One time I accidentally got into incognito mode. Because it was in my pants, and I accidentally, you know, sometimes you dial or you do whatever, but I was in incognito mode. I don't even know how to get in or out of incognito mode. I accidentally ended up in incognito mode, and then Marilena saw that I was incognito. She's like, what you gotta be in incognito for? I was like, I don't even know how to get in there. She's not gonna believe me. If you go to the membership tab, I have a bunch of stuff in there that no one else has access to. Nobody else can find it. Bunch of hidden gems, music, behind the scenes. Thank you, Billy the Kidder. Jairo, Ed, and edit these. Ed, and edit these. That's what I'm gonna tell my editor when I start when I continue and the algorithm starts to pick up and I start posting my clips and this and that, I have an idea of something that I want to do that's kind of timely. I should hurry up and do it before it gets out of the news. There's something that anyway, then I could get the guys back from Voto Studios, say, hey, Ed, Jairo says, Ed, and edit these. And I just sent him a bunch of video files. Juan Barbosa, thank you, Lord. He finally noticed he kept getting my name wrong. Chale, what happened to your Spanish? Soy un pocho. You know what? I have a script. I have a script right here. You want to hear it? You probably speak Spanish real good, huh, Juan Barbosa? Or am I racist? Do you speak Spanish real good or am I racist? Do you want to hear my script for when I talk to Spanish speakers on the phone about solar? Check it out. So I'm dialing, and then they go, bueno. It's either always a dude that sounds like he's in his truck. He's got the windows down. Bueno. Or some lady. Bueno. Always. That's it. 2 gears. Bueno. Hold on, let me turn I can't even see this. I'm so blind. Soy de un programa asociado de PG&E que ayuda a reducir las facturas de electricidad. ¿Es usted propietario? That's pretty clean, huh? Me's with me. Soy de un programa asociado de PG&E que ayuda a reducir las facturas de electricidad. ¿Es usted propietario? I could read it. I just don't care to memorize it. I could read it. And they're like, sí. Well, tenemos nuevos programas que ayudan con nuevos electrodomésticos para el hogar a reducir su factura de electricidad. ¿Gustaría recibir ayuda con esto? Sí. Ok. Uno de nuestros técnicos vendrá a revisar sus electrodomésticos actuales y su factura de electricidad para evaluar lo que podemos hacer por usted. ¿Está bien? Sí. Ok. ¿Qué día y hora le... Oh, I'm blind. ¿Qué día y hora te conviene más? Ok, y todavía estás ubicado en... And then I say the address. And then if they say something crazy that I don't understand, they start speaking like Brazilian or something. Then I say, and then I'm like, I take a pause and I'm like, estaría bien si le pido a mi compañero de trabajo que habla español que te llame? Sí. Duh, easy. I got my script. As long as I got a script, I'm good. I just can't memorize it. There you go. That was for you, Juan Barbosa. I almost said it wrong again. I almost said it good. I saved it at the end. Kevin Johnston ain't got much to give right now, but God will always provide, brother. And thanks for being the only YouTuber not bending the knee. And ironically, it still works. To Ilya. Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Kevin Johnston. I appreciate that very much. And you know what was funny? And I kind of joked about it the other day. A few days ago, when I had another really helpful night, is when I went on a rant and I kept talking about God. And I joked around like, maybe that's why. And today was even more so. And the support followed. Now, I'm not trying to make people say, well, I'm not going to do that then because I'm an atheist. I'm not doing like that. I don't want to make it all tied into that or anything like that. I just think it's kind of funny. Thank you very much, Kevin Johnston. Absolutely. And I tell people, I'm not a hater. I don't hate the dude. Like when I was talking about Israel Adesanya, I genuinely disliked him. Just disgusted with that dude. Couldn't stand him. I don't dislike Ilya. He seems like a good dude. He seems like he loves his family. He seems like a respectable dude. But people are just being hypocritical. They're being delusional. They're criticizing other people for things that he does, but they don't say anything about it. And they're building him up in such a way that not only does he not deserve right now and hasn't earned, it's only going to shoot him in the chancla when it comes crashing down because he got built up to something that he didn't take the time making sure that he could, walk the walk with. Jamaican bobsled team just gifted 5 Mexican martial arts memberships. Some people say, they can't believe Jamaican bobsled team gives memberships. You have to be there. Terry Nallison, T-Nows, Cara, Noel Gonzalez, Manny Rosa, and Physique _007 just got memberships. Just got memberships. Again, if you just made it here and you don't know how to find it, go to my homepage, go to the membership tab, and you could have full access to stuff that a lot of people don't know about. You're going to see some funky stuff in there. Jamaican bobsled team just took you to Funky Town. There's some different stuff in there. And I believe you have access for a month now. Unless you decide to re-up, you have access for a month now. So be sure to get in there. Hey, screen record it. Screen record it. It's like you get your little thumb drive and you want to get all the files before the place burns down. If you know there's so much stuff and you don't have enough time to watch it all before you lose the membership, and I think, don't quote me on that. You might have to Google it. I think you'll have it for 30 days. Just get in there. Have one of your kids go in there. Just screen record all the videos. It's time to play it on loop. And you can just watch it later. I don't want you to miss anything in there. Thank you, Jamaican bobsled team. Juan Barbosa, you could read it, but you get the A in Barbosa wrong. That's true. That's a good point. That is a good point. You could read it, but you get the A in Barbosa wrong. It's because I'm blind, though. I was having to hold the phone like right here. That's true. No worries, homie. I'm Puerto Rican, by the way. Hello from the island. Hey, this might be a dumb question. Is it identical language? Is it exactly the same? And yours just has a little bit more attitude in it? Or is it different? You know how when you hear like Italian or Brazilian, it kind of sounds like a lot of the same words are Spanish? Is it the same with Puerto Rican? And it's like Spanish, but some words are different? Or is it literally the exact same words? Super Blood Wolf Moon. Give me your script to Bryce Mitchell, Firmament Solar. Wait, what? Give me your script to Bryce Mitchell, Firmament Solar. Wait, what are you talking about? Is Bryce Mitchell selling solar? I know he's been talking about the firmament. Feel good stream of the summer, bro. I'm feeling relieved. I'm feeling good right now. Bro, I was stressing before this stream. I was stressing before this. Give me your script. Give me your... I feel like there's different themes going on here. Give me your script to Bryce Mitchell. So I give you the script and you give it to Bryce Mitchell? Or I should give a script to Bryce Mitchell. Give me your script and then Firmament Solar. I need to decipher this. I need to put this in Google Translate. I think Wilson is an executive producer now. I do too. I do too. Absolutely. ARJR721 Wilson Mitchell. Absolutely. There's some contenders in here, by the way. Kevin Johnston, I mean to each his own, but I can't be a fan of someone I know is choking his poultry. I don't think that helped. To McGregor's, to his nudies. Yeah. I heard, you never know what you could believe in Reddit. You never know. So I try not to take anything too seriously, but I heard that he printed out a photo and asked Conor to sign it. But you never know. I always just try to take it with a grain of tahini, you know? But yeah, I mean, I always try to be careful that if I am critiquing anything in regard to like a Ilya, that I'm doing it in regard to like what you're saying, what's actually happening. And I'm not saying he can't fight, because there's a lot of people that we're highlighting the fact that he absolutely does not have the most impressive 3-fight win streak ever in the UFC. So there's a handful of people at least that have better ones because of who they fought on their resumes. This is, and I hate, again, Sometimes I feel like I'm being redundant because I keep saying the same things, but I'm just so I don't want to be misunderstood. I hate using terms like recency bias because I know it's one of those things that a lot of people say just to sound intelligent. But it is absolute recency bias. It's people that just started watching UFC last week that would watch someone like Ilya's trajectory and actually have the nerve to claim that he has the best 3-fight win streak ever in the UFC. There's at least a handful of people that have a better one. The most dominant one, as far as I'm confirmed, Khabib Nurmagomedov. I mean, the names. Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Conor McGregor. Now, I know right now, and again, recency bias. I know right now we're laughing at all those names. Are you kidding? The dude that retired so he could have some more time? So he could have some more time with his chile? Or are you talking about the other dude that's a rock'em sock'em punching bag? Or are you talking about the other dude? Are you talking about Assault Papi? I know it's easy to laugh at those dudes now, but at the time, I hope you remember. I hope you go back and read your comments. At the time, everyone thought they were world beaters. They were the most dominant. They were the most exciting. They were the craziest. And they were all in their prime. And they all bent to another man's will and said, please don't kill me. Please let me go. They didn't just get caught and hit the canvas. They said, please, no. Stop, please. Way different. So all I'm trying to point out, because Ilia Tapuera is simply a victim of the authority and the influence around him and the way that things are being choreographed. So he's being put in front of people, and maybe he's having some input. Maybe he did kind of run from Mofsar. Maybe he kind of did run from Lopez. Maybe he is obviously blatantly, clearly running from Sarukian. But you know who has the final say. And these things are being orchestrated. So it's not entirely his fault. He's not a bad fighter by any means. He's a fantastic fighter. But the combination of him being such a fantastic fighter and the orchestration going on is making people delusional. Thank you, Kevin Johnston. Jairo, I can't give members no more. Oh, no, you're good, bro. I can't give members no more. Does it not let you? Because whatever. That's not my business. I can't give members no more. We love Jesus here. Don't make me release Bryce Mitchell. And he puts you in a twister. You heathens, I'm Puerto Rican. We are broken Spanish like Jamaicans to English. There's a Jamaican dude in here like, what? What's that supposed to mean? Okay, broken Spanish. So you're saying that the whole Puerto Rican language is just slang. Let me see this. Wilson Mitchell. Yeah, I'm kind of nervous. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Juan Barbosa, it's all based off Latin. So we share a lot of roots for words, but sentence structure and names change wildly between languages. GM is, good night, GM. It's 12 a.m. for me. Hey, you are good. Juan Barbosa. See, you're being a respectful dude. You're being not respectful. You're being a respectable dude. You're mature. You know when it's time to turn it in because you got responsibilities. You got things you got to do tomorrow. Respect. You got to go put that work in. Thank you, Juan Barbosa. And I am going to be wrapping it up very quickly here for you too, by the way, for everybody else. I don't want you to think that I have any intention of dragging this out and wasting anybody's time. I'm going to wrap it up very quickly here after I finally touch on my breaking news. Thank you very much for everything, Juan Barbosa. Thank you. Jairo, if you could bring back a retired fighter in their prime from the past, who do you think could grease these fighters' cheeks today? There's two that stick out to me boldly. Khabib Nurmagomedov and Cain Velasquez. I think Khabib would absolutely dominate. No question, as he always did. And prime Cain Velasquez, are you kidding me? Cain Velasquez and John Jones? Cain Velasquez grabs one of those chicken legs. Are you kidding me? Cain Velasquez and Tom Aspinall? Mighty Mouse for sure. For sure. But other than that, I think the sport has just progressed so well, you know. For Khabib, for lightweight, Khabib, Mighty Mouse for the 140, man. No, they're good there. 170s. No, they're good. They're solid there. I mean, Makhachev's gonna be right there right now. 185. Everything has just progressed so much. I think Khabib, Mighty Mouse, and Cain Velasquez. So I gotta get up in 3 hours, but this is fun. I might have to call out and make it a long weekend. Oh shoot, I'm sorry, bro. 3 hours. Okay, look. Let me get to my point real quick. We already know what kind of a dude Conor McGregor is, right? We've been to my very first video on this channel. And again, I talked about this yesterday. I'm listening to Tierra right now. Together. You know that song? Together, baby. Together, baby. I'm listening to that song right now. I'm hearing him in my ears. He's going, I'll do it with him. When we used to play shoot 'em up. I'm listening to that right now. So it's like when someone who can't hear very well is talking and the words come out weird. A lot of times I misspeak and I trip over my tongue and stuff like that. So that's why I said channer instead of channel. The Conor video, making fun of that fool, was the first video I ever uploaded on this channel. Okay? And so it's kind of the lore. It's kind of the backbone of this channel, the Conor McGregor hate. When he went into BKFC, I had to admit I kind of became a fan because he was like a fun villain to watch. I couldn't stand that fool when he was a fighter, and I just thought he was cocky and conceited and this and that, and I don't like fighters like that. I like humble fighters, modest fighters. But when I saw him being that way as a promoter, I was sold. And I was like, yes, this is how you promote fights. Dana White promotes fights now. Dana White promotes fights like if he's in a library and he doesn't want to get in trouble. And he's been studying all night. Conor McGregor knows how to promote fights, and he got me excited. And I was like, yes, I want to see more. I might jump the gate. I might move over to BKFC. This is getting me amped up. And I was thinking about buying the t-shirt. So I don't want anybody to get it twisted. We all already kind of know as a general consensus how we feel about that fool. That he's a dirty cochino, how he disrespects his family, his lady, even though there are narratives out there that I went through very thoroughly in a fantastic video, if I may say so myself, that I made a couple weeks ago that not hardly anybody at all watched. It's called The Naked Truth About Conor McGregor. And if you want to watch it, it might be the best video I ever made. But nobody watched it. So let's get that out of the way. There's no big Conor fans in here. No one in this community is saying the king does what he wants. That's not who we are here. Jairo! Shara versus Bisping. Winner takes the good eye. Wins! Hey, I think Prime Bisping. Am I crazy? I think Prime Bisping. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if you agree, everybody. I think Bisping. Either with his prime technique or he talks that fool to sleep. Either way. Terry. Oh my gosh, I butchered your name like if you were Juan Barbosa. Terry Nallison. T-Nows, I have a confession to make. I'm not even in the fighter community. I accidentally found your short about the unibrow. I accidentally found your short about the unibrow and laughed for 10 minutes. You know what? When I uploaded, there was 2 videos recently. It was the one I uploaded about the eyebrow. And it was the one that I uploaded about being in a not living like the bachelor lifestyle and jumping from person to person, but living like in a loyal, faithful, monotonous relationship. Those 2 shorts, I specifically put out, you know what? I want you to know something. And I hope this makes you feel special, Terry. Because I did it for you. I specifically put out those 2 videos because I thought, especially the unibrow one, because I thought I want to put out videos that are general and generic enough that I think have enough humor in them that someone could see it and not necessarily care anything at all about MMA and think that's interesting. I think that's funny and discover the channel. And here you are, Terry. You were on my mind, Terry. That happened because of you. I manifested you, Terry. I was literally like, I gotta put this out because I think somebody could see this and that. I'm so glad you told me this. I need to do that more often. Thank you for letting me know that. That is so cool. Hey, filet mignon. I apologize. Look, I was emotional, all right? If there are people in here that watch that video, thank you very much. I was so proud of that video and I worked hard on it. And thank you, Wilson Mitchell. Bro, Alexander's still here. He's all hating me and he's still here. I'm the only channel that he could reach with his Wi-Fi. He's all mad. He's trying to find the MMA holes right now. He's just stewing in his room right now. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to say what I want to say because I don't want to disrespect anyone else. However, he seems so peaceful, doesn't he? Okay. I kind of regret that. Look, so I the only reason I share that with you, you know what I was saying about 25 minutes ago about Conor McGregor? I just want to lay the foundation to say we all know what we think of him. We know what kind of a dude he is. Oh, and the reason I brought up that video was because there are narratives out there that maybe D. Devlin is the one behind this. Maybe it's a shaming ritual, public humiliation. Maybe she's the one that's causing him to do these things as ultimatums. You want to stay together? You want to keep this together? You don't want me to take the kids? You don't want me to take everything? Maybe I can't take the money because you didn't marry me, but I'll take the kids. You already know. I'll just tell them about your habits. I'll let them know I'll have the kids in a heartbeat. So you want to mess around? You want to mess around with Rita Ora? You gotta go the shallow Hal route too. You gotta go do this other stuff too. Yeah, you don't want to. I don't care. They're gonna laugh at you. Your friends are gonna laugh at you. I don't care. Smile now, cry later. Either way, that aside, I say all of that to say that we know how we feel about him. So I don't want to make it sound like I'm defending him right now. I just think that it's very interesting. The news came out today. Conor McGregor, sensual assault allegations, appeal denied. Good day, sir. You get nothing. Denied. And let me read you something that was very bold. It might have been the title on the article that I saw it on. And there's a lot of articles. But let me read this for you verbatim. This is what it said. The title didn't even say Conor McGregor. You know why? Because that wasn't important to the writer. It wasn't important to the writer who the fighter even was. It says a MMA fighter. That's who it is. He's an MMA fighter for all intensive purposes. A MMA fighter Trump hosted. MMA. So we have Conor McGregor, the most famous UFC fighter of all time, that's in the midst of this storm. And instead of using his name, they name Trump. That's who the highlighted character is in this article. A MMA fighter Trump hosted at the White House loses appeal in his sensual assault case. Now, you know, because you're in the loop. You're in the MMA community. You read the articles. A lay person would say, well, what fighter? Was it John Jones again? The only name I got from this was Trump. The only names I see, the only buzzwords is Trump and White House. Trump and White House. Who's the fighter? Well, we know it was Conor McGregor, but when we see a narrative now, we see an agenda now. A MMA fighter Trump hosted at the White House loses appeal in his sensual assault case. We already know people were coming out of the woodwork. People were coming out left and right trying to shut down the White House event to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. Everybody's trying to shut it down. You know, did you see the article? It's getting flooded with this Conor McGregor news right now. There were articles out today all over from Office Max. Office Max is completely sold out of poster boards right now. There are people all over the place protesting. They're running out of poster boards because we got fools trying to protest the White House event and Sydney Sweeney at the same time. We got students trying to work on projects. They need poster boards. But we got these protesters out here. They can't even, their rallies, they're overlapping. They don't even know what to do. We got protesters that are at one protest and they're having to Zoom. They're having to Zoom in to be at the other one. They got friends. They had to send a friend to the other protest and they're like, here, put me on Zoom. And they're trying to do two things at once. They're trying to kill two birds with one poster board. It's the same people that are doing this. And it's sad and it's sickening to see we even have people within our own MMA community, not this one. I'm talking about the mixed martial arts community who are complaining. We got Luke Thomas. Luke Thomas is a self-loathing mixed martial arts fan. He works in it, talks about it, made his livelihood off of it, but he hates it. Oh, it's a bad look for the UFC. They shouldn't do this. They're going to divide. Bro, it happens all the time anyway, one way or another. People know who they are. People know what the fighters are, what they represent, what they talk about, how they talk on the mic, press conference, post-fight interview. We already know what it is. An event at the White House ain't going to change anything. But people are crying about it. They're trying to shut it down. And they're making Conor McGregor the scapegoat. Something that had already pretty much unanimously been agreed upon, and we're going to let this one go. And there's probably nothing there. And we're going to it's not a big deal. But now when it becomes a matter of him becoming a pawn so that they could shut down the White House event, that's what it is. Again, we were talking about Bob Dylan earlier. He's only a pawn in their game. That's all it is. This was already old news. They're just bringing up old stuff now. And Conor McGregor is shooting himself in the chancla a little bit because he made a statement that I'm sure he regrets now in regard to this whole thing. He had to admit it. There's probably DNA and whatnot. He had to admit it. So he came clean and admitted it. But he said something very specific in regard to what he did with this lady. And I think he shot himself in the chancla because the statement that he gave made himself look like a liar. Because he thought, I'm going to be forthcoming. I'm going to get ahead of this. I'm going to admit it. But in the process of doing that, he said something that makes it very hard to believe him. He made a statement that his encounter with this lady was consensual, right? And he went on to say, because she was talking about, how there was actual assault and things of that nature involved. And he said, you know what? Here's my spin on it. Here's how I will let you know how it went. He said it was consensual, but it was very physical and athletic. I would have never imagined that someone in that situation, someone in that position would use those words to describe what happened. He said it was consensual and it was very physical and athletic. Now, I want you to look at this lady on the screen here. And I want you to tell me if you think she's ever done anything physical or athletic in her life. I believe Conor McGregor ran his mouth a little bit too much. I think Conor dot this protested too much if. And I think he shot himself in the chancla. Physical and athletic. Now, I'm not going to be mean to this lady. I'm not gonna go on, because I was being mean about the other ladies that McGregor had these rendezvous with, because they knew that he's with somebody. They knew that he has a family, and they deserve any kind of heat and negativity that comes their way. This lady, we don't know. We could pretend that we do, but we don't know. We know that there's women that lie out there. We also know that there's men that lie. And we're talking about Conor McGregor. So I'm not going to go too hard on this lady. No pun intended. I'm not going to be physical or athletic in any capacity with this lady, because I don't know the facts. If she's telling the truth, she might be a wonderful, nice lady that did not want what happened. They did not want what happened to happen. I don't know. So I'm going to leave it at what it is. I'm just saying that the statement that he made could definitely make him look wildly discredited. And I think he ran his mouth a little bit too much. It's like that one episode from Seinfeld when the dude tells Kramer, "Why'd you put the bomb on?" "Who told you to put the bomb on?" "I didn't tell you to put the bomb on." And I think that's exactly what Conor McGregor did in this situation. I think he put the bomb on. Lord Racer, welcome to the family. As far as I'm confirmed, you never left. You know where to find that membership tab. Wait a minute. Was there another? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Robbie just sent 70 big ones to the PayPal. Thank you for letting me know, bro. Thank you. Robbie just sent 70 big ones. 70 to the PayPal. That's instant. That's instant. Fast acting. Fast acting, long lasting. And that's not Conor McGregor's nickname. That is not Conor McGregor's nickname. He is now affectionately referred to as Assault Papi. He's embracing it. He's rebranding Assault Papi. Thank you, Robbie. Bro. Thank you, Robbie. Bro, I'm so glad I saw that comment right now. I happened to scroll back. Jairo, I will pull the chancla out or the bout if my kid wasted my money to protest stupidity that never was a real issue. Become a doctor, not a D1 complainer. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I can't even, If you're gonna be in Office Max, you better be just like buying like what could you even what would a functioning member of society, a well-rounded person even be doing in an Office Max these days? Like, what could you get at Office Max that you wouldn't get for way cheaper, like at Walmart or on Amazon? Why would you even go to Office Max? Or like if you don't have a printer. If you have a child that's going to Office Max, that's what I'm saying, Jairo. I agree with you. Bust out the chancla. That's what I'm saying. That's the only way that we're going to get people back to where they need to be. They're straying. Look at ARJR721 being a little silly clown out here. ARJR721. He's just taunting now. He's taking a little victory lap. ARJR721 dropping $1 on me. I like it. Thank you. Yes, 2020, they are. Thank you. That's all I wanted to say. I saw the article, and it's making it all about an agenda. It's making it all about Trump. It's making it all about the White House. I was disgusted when I read that. A MMA fighter. Oh, it's not Conor McGregor? A MMA fighter. It's like when they release those generic articles on all these MMA websites, and they word it like, there could be a main event. Oh, it looked like my lights went out. There could be a main event. Let's say it's like Adesanya versus Pereira. And the article says like main event fighter or main card fighter has to pull out. Pereira versus Adesanya ruined or a disaster. And it's like, oh my gosh, one of them pulled out. But they're just saying, oh, it's the Adesanya and Pereira card. Like the very first fight, someone that no one even cares about pulled out. Something like that. And they always and then you read it and you're like, oh, they got me. Or it's like heavyweight fighter just released from promotion, fan favorite or something, and they show a picture of like Tom Aspinall, but it's like some other dude you never heard of. I don't know. It's dirty. It's like bro, there's something wrong with my brain. I forgot what I was saying. I keep doing that. I wonder if it has something to do with what we're talking about. Angel Padilla, have a good night, bro. You and Jessica, you have a good evening. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. Legends. Unbelievable. Okay, look. I hate doing this. I hate having to be a hall monitor because I believe in free speech. And anybody could tell me anything. I got a thick beanie. But when there's a general consensus that nobody in our wonderful community here, that nobody likes somebody, and they're just, a thorn in the flesh, and there's absolutely zero, just clear no good from it, and it's just an irritation to people, I don't want to ruin people's experience on here. So, Alexander, I love you. I don't like you, but I love you. And I hope you find peace because you sound very angry. And clearly this is someone's fault. Clearly someone upset you. Clearly someone didn't give you attention. Clearly somebody poured hate into your life. I don't know. And I know you're probably a young person that is caught up in a tornado of emotion and hormones, and it's not going to be till like 10 years from now that maybe you'll remember this in a random moment and be like, bro, I was crazy. I know you're not going to get it right now because I've been young and nobody could tell me anything. We've all been through that. So it's probably not going to sink in tonight, and I have to understand that and come to terms with it. But I truly hope that you figure stuff out. And I know you don't care right now. And I know you're going to let me know that. Because you're a real strong individual that doesn't need anyone to tell him anything. I'm not a hater, so I'm not gonna tell you anything evil. I hope that you're not like this in the future. Goodbye, bro, because it's just clearly nothing good is gonna come from anything that you're doing. For anybody. And I have a feeling, because as much as he seemed to hate it here, he really didn't want to leave. He'll probably come on at some point with another account. Yeah. So what I did was, there's a thing where you could like outright block somebody. And there's a thing where you could do what they call hide user on the channel. So he'll still comment and stuff if he wants, and it'll look to him like he's commenting, but no one else will ever see him again. It's kind of ironic. It's kind of weird. ARJR721 GM, when you tell Marilena the total play didn't when you tell Marilena the total play didn't I blow your mind this time, didn't I? Oh man. Okay, okay, look. There's I've never been fond of adding moderators only because of this. There's so, like, I'm seeing multiple names right now that I would like to make moderators. And there's a thing where like you can't overdo it. And I, at the same time, I hate the thought of making someone a moderator and other people are like, bro, you made them a moderator? And no disrespect to them, but why not me too? And then I'm just all in my beanie and I'm like, oh, I feel bad. Maybe I should make and then I got 30 moderators, you know, because that's the way I am. But I see everybody. It's funny. I'm seeing everybody say the same name. And there's no way on earth that I would not agree. There's no way on earth that I would not agree. It's just I want people to know that there are definitely other candidates that I have in my beanie as well. It's just it's such a fine line of oversaturating, and I don't even know if there's a limit actually. And there are some people that I feel like I would like to add little by little in the future, because not everyone's here for every stream, so it wouldn't hurt to have extras. But I don't know if you saw it, Jane. I just made you a moderator. I don't know if you have to refresh it to see it, but Jane Caulfield, I just made you a moderator. I heard from the people. I hear the people. I see the people. You've done something. You've done something consistently enough to leave an impression on the people. Jairo, you ever play Rock Band, and do you like the Gorillas? I played it years ago and I was not good at it. Not at all. I was really good at the drumming one. And I know that was like the little like kind of funny, like everyone thought that one was pathetic. I was good at the drumming one. The Gorillas, I think I don't like them. Aren't they? I think they have a. Aren't they the ones that sing "Don't Stop"? I always felt like, and here's the reason, and it's not a fair reason. I feel like they have the kind of music that sounds like it would be on a lot of commercials. And I think they had one real popular song that came on a bunch of commercials. Yeah, see that? I hate this song. I think what it is, and I'm going to be honest with you, The only reason I feel the way I do about the Gorillas is because they have like that Jason Mraz thing where I feel like they got so big that their sound was inescapable, and I feel like I would hear it in like every store I would go into. I feel like it was on a bunch of commercials, and I don't know. And I feel like I just got sick of it. I got sick of their sound because I feel like they have such a unique sound that every time I heard it, it was like, it's them again. So I apologize. I mean, I know it's cool to be able to connect on cool stuff like music, but I can't stand them. Okay, they sound like a wait, how did they say it? Where'd it go? Someone said they have a sound that just sounds like they're an industry plant. Look, it's getting to that time in the night where I gotta be responsible. I got people that should be going to sleep. I don't want to keep them up too late. I don't want to mess up their day and their schedule tomorrow. So I gotta dip. I believe this is our longest stream now. I think we set a record for all of a sudden. We're at 3 hours and 6 minutes right now. Some of you, Blur, is that the one that goes woohoo? That's the only song I like of theirs. Wait, Blur. No, I'm thinking of something else. That's the name of the song. I'll have to look them up right now. We'll have to be continued for tomorrow. Are they the ones that go woohoo? Oh, he really did care enough to make another account. Oh man, that's crazy. All right, there he goes. Hey, Bad Burglar. Hey, just believe in yourself. Keep making accounts, and you're gonna keep showing up, bro. Just show that determination. I'm very aware that I'm not gonna be able. I can't. I know it sounds corny, but the way that I feel after the stream tonight, and the way that, and it's not just financially, but there's people that I've seen in here. There's people I've seen in here since the stream started, and that is insane. That's insane. There's been people who support financially. There's people who support with their time. People who support with likes, people who support with comments, with shares. I appreciate all of it, and it helps me to keep doing this. If there wasn't enough support on episode 1, I wouldn't have felt confident enough to do episode 2. If there wasn't enough support on episode 2, I wouldn't have felt confident enough to do episode 3, and so on and etc. You guys keep the steam in this thing going. I'm here every day. I keep showing up and doing my thing, but if I can't get you guys to show up, it's pointless, and it'll fail quickly. You guys keep this going. So I realize I don't have the words to express everything I would want to. I would have to talk for too long and just be rambling. I'm very, very thankful. I'm surprised. I'm grateful. It was insane tonight. And I'm going to have an entirely different night than I would have otherwise. Thank you so much for your support. And I'm going to do everything I can to keep getting better every single time. That's what's up. Thank you, Jane Caulfield. The unibrow short will bring more, I promise. I hope so. I'm going to keep making more like that. Thank you again for telling me. Billy the Kidder says we're going to get to at least 10. At least 10. Allah DX JC56. Good night, ARGR721. Good night, Marloca. I appreciate that, Jordan. Thank you, 2020. Thank you, Oni Sensei. Billy the Kidder. I'm trying to get better at that, Terry. Thank you, Wilson. That's the least I could do. That's the least I could do. And I'm glad that you feel that way instead of feeling annoyed that, like, bro, again, you expect us to watch every day? I appreciate that. Thank you, Rick Zero. Jamaican Bobsled Team. Much love. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. I'm going to keep working for you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching.